Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday Night Takeaway Show, episode 31. I hope you've had a good weekend. For most of us in this group, we've got smiles on our faces, even though the results probably didn't go the way that we wanted it to. But we all got smiles on our faces. That counts for something at least. So, as always, introduce my panelists, and I'm going to start off with Jez. Is your good self?
I'm very well, mate. Very well. Big debates. I'm sure we're going to talk about it tonight. Was that a red, second yellow? Well, we'll get into it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Fair play. Fair play. I watched the stream on playback. Dan Potts' mate. Fair play to Dan Potts. He's actually calling it and calling the fans looking for excuses. And big respect to him for doing that, because he works with a bunch of frauds that will look for any excuse out there that it's not Arsenal's fault, it's everybody else, it's the this, that, and the other. So respect to him for doing that, because it must be tricky to go against the people you work with, but I respect him for it. It's a fair play, man. Yeah, all good.
Yeah, we'll get into that. So, and just to introduce him for the first time onto the show, and that is great to have him as well. It's Jose from El Tel Cocorel. Welcome to the show, Jose.
Good evening, gentlemen, and good evening to people in the chat. Yeah, looking forward to it. I normally go on another show at this time in a Sunday evening, but I told them last week when you invited me, I ain't going on tonight. I'm coming on another channel. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I still have a smile on my face.
Good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear, at least. Anthony, how are we, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Watched a weekend of football. Well, I got to be honest with you, it ain't really the greatest results for either any one of our clubs. So it's like what Jess said. We're going to probably talk about it, dive into it. But I just want to say big up to the panel and big up to the people that's tuning.
Yeah, and as always, we will be putting the description, the links for Jez's and Jose's channel at the end of this. So if you need to go over to see them, please make sure you go and share, like, and subscribe to these gents. Two good guys. Let's just say hello to the illustrious panel. I've already done that, so let's say hello to the good people in the chat as always. Always make this an enjoyable show. Good evening, Henry. I'm here, mate. Can't wait for a great evening of fun and laughter. Yeah, I think we're going to get that already. Evening, Arsenal Manic. Well done to the Liverpool. And also, good evening. They were saying hello to each other at that point. Let's move the channel down. Henry's saying, get out of the way. What's going on here? Look, bloody computer. Yes, we'll talk about that as well, Henry, because he kind of dropped that in the hint at the end of the game last season for Mo Salah. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be the end of an era for him.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, how are we doing? Smash the likes and subscribe. Thanks, Dave. Old School Gunner again. Go and see his channel as well. He's off to America soon, I believe, Anthony, isn't he? Never heard it before, but hey.
Yeah, he's off to New York next week. So, big up to him and all that. He's got money now. He's in Switzerland. He's got it made, hasn't he?
Evening, Steve. Evening, panel on the chatters, and they all sound like each other again. Evening, Matt. Hope you're well. Yeah, and Matt's saying Man United frail again. Going to take years to get where they want to be. Well, when Fuzzy comes on, I'm sure we're going to hear his side of the story. That's going to be quite interesting. Years. It's a trilogue of Matt. Decades. Centuries. Oi, oi. Evening, Happy Emirate. Good to see you as well in here. Hope you're well. Good to see you early on the West Ham Massive. More like it. Oi, oi, too. Michael, how we doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming over. And they'll have a little change there. A change of manager will do it, Matt. Yeah. Arsenal Mag saying to get thrashed at home by your compatriot manager who's only been there for 2 minutes at home to boot as well.
Not good.
Arsenal Manic saying, Deji, your club's dusty. Well done, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Ten Hag isn't what they need. Oh, Jesus. I didn't see the end of it. I don't know if any of you guys watched Ten Hag's speech afterwards? Because I wanted to know what that man actually would have said.
Well, he wasn't
No,
happy.
I think
Go on, mate. Go on.
no, it's fine, Jez. I didn't see it. All I saw was Arnie Slot's, his press conference at the end of the game, and obviously he was happy. I mean, fair play to him. I mean, 3 games, 3 wins. You can't take it away from him. I personally thought Liverpool was going to struggle this season, going back prior to the 2-0 win over Ipswich. It wasn't very many goals, and I thought to myself, well, hang on, this could be a bit of a drag for them for this season. But I mean, we touched on it with Mo Salah. He's on about, obviously, this is last season.
Mm.
Do you know what? That's going to be a tough one for Arnie Slot to replace him next season. Is knowing who the player they're going to get to fit on that left hand side. Is really that's going to be a hard transfer window for him next season, just to get that right player. So I mean, first shout to Liverpool for winning. No, I'm on the subject now. I've got to be honest with you. I thought Man United played like they were a mid-table team, to be honest with you. There was no depth. There was no flair. There was no passion in the game. I mean, the only one that stood out for me was that young striker that they got, Zerski. He had a couple of chances from 60 minutes onwards.
Mm.
But apart from that, the chances weren't coming from Man United. And I asked myself this question as well as you guys and people in the chat. Ten Hag, is he come to that stage now where he's going to be treading on thin ice for his job? Seriously.
Well, I think it's going to come to a head quite quickly. If they don't dig themselves out this deep hole they're in, I reckon he'll be gone by Christmas.
Yeah.
Would you say? What do you think about the situation at Man United?
Was that me?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Sorry, you cut out. I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yes, it's probably this bloody thing.
So for me, I questioned. I'm no one to talk here because of what we've done in the transfer business this summer either. But I questioned the players that they bought. I thought Man United with what they did in the summer, with keeping the manager hanging and not backing him outright, and offering him that contract and interviewing other people and all the stuff that went on, it's hardly an endorsement for him, is it? They've gone and bought players, and in their own right, the players that they bought are good players, but yesteryear, so to speak, because the 2 boys that they bought from Bayern Munich, for me, are very talented footballers, but for the last 4 years, since they were at Ajax and left Ajax, they've been injury prone. They haven't played 50% of the matches for the clubs that they've gone to.
Yeah.
So the centre half didn't play 50% of games for Juventus. And then I'm going to hear people say, yeah, but I had Chiellini and Bonucci at the back, and that's why he didn't get a sniff. No, he was injured. That's why he didn't get in. And then he got sold to Bayern, and for 2 years at Bayern, he hardly played. And Mazraoui, again, is another one who was injury prone at Bayern and didn't get too many games at Bayern either. But on their day, injury free, they're probably 2 decent players. But they took a risk on buying them and paying for them. The guy who got, they needed 6. Casemiro, what happened to him today happened to him all of last season. Regardless, that Man United will say that during pre-season, Casemiro looked a good player. He shed weight. He looks a bit more trim than that. And they were all saying that they were hoping for positive signs for this year. But it looks like he's regressed back to his old ways from the first half showing that he had today. Xerxes, they bought Xerxes, talented youngster, but the managers bought him, and I can't understand it because Ten Hag bought him and then turned around and said to the people straight away, do you know what? He's not Premiership ready. He won't be able to play in the Premier. You won't see much of him. And then obviously the guy that they got, that Højlund, got injured.
Yeah.
And then they're forced to play him because they've got no one to play up there. So they're then forced to play him unless you're playing Bruno as the false 9. They got problems at Man United. They got problems. But then if you listen to all the Dutch, right, all the Dutch said that Arne Slot will outdo Ten Hag all season long. And they said this before the start of the season. He's a better tactician than Ten Hag. And to be honest, if you guys watched the game, which I think you all did, I don't think Liverpool got out of second gear, to be honest.
Not
No,
really.
no,
No.
no. It's a good statement there because fun enough, Jez said that yesterday when Man City played West Ham, they didn't get out of second gear either in that game. But Liverpool, yeah, I mean, wow, I mean, Man United might have not even been on the pitch because it was like non-existent in certain spells. And I mean, as someone's put there, it's going to take decades for them to kind of get back to where they were, and if they're going to get back to that stage, it's just a complete mess. We will go on to this one because I think obviously it's fresh in the mind. But Michael's asked the question, and I think you've covered it as well, Jez. Did Rice deserve that red yesterday?
Yep. It's a clear situation. Look, the laws of the game state that if you kick the ball away, whether it's 6 inches or whether it's 20 yards, it's dissent, right? It's in the laws of the game. I said this on my show earlier when I did the watch along with the Man United Liverpool game. The referee's got no choice, right? The referee has to work within the laws of the game. Having been a referee myself, I know how it works, and it's these guys are professional referees, okay? They get assessed on every single game. They get marked out of 100. And these guys have ambitions. They want to get their FIFA registration. They've probably started being referees many, many years ago to work through it to get to this level. He's got to go with it. You could see him yesterday. He didn't want to do it. He only had to look at his face. And he's thinking, I've got to do this. I don't really want to do it, but I've got no option. Because if he hadn't have done it, he's going to get marked down. He'll be up inside. Sorry, he'll be up in front of the board to say, major mistake there, mate. You didn't work within the laws of the game. He could get knocked down for that, right? So that means he could be actually not being in attendance in the middle. He could be on the line. Yeah, all referees want to be in the middle. They want to be in control because that's what their ambition, that's what they work for. So I've seen so many people, guys, making excuses about this. He cost us the game. No, he didn't. Our team cost us the game. Poor finishing. The fact we haven't got a proper number 9, and we haven't invested properly during the transfer window. So let's just put it to bed now. The referee did the right thing within the letter of the law. I would have done the same. I said earlier on my stream at the level I refereed at, which was a reasonable level, I once in a cup game didn't send a bloke off. The team were 10-0 down, right? Yeah. It was a qualifying round, first round qualifying of the FA Cup. County League game. The team were 10-0 down. One of the defenders of the team that was 10-0 down, right? Minutes to go, 5 minutes, something like that, whatever it was. The ball went over the keeper. He was on the line. He saved it. That's a red card. That is a red card, right? It's deliberate handball. I didn't send him off because the opposing team didn't make a fuss about it, right? I didn't realise that day I was being assessed. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Did I get a kick down for that? Right? I was sent down to a lower league because I didn't work within the letter of the law. These guys, it's their job. It's their livelihood. So they've got to work within it.
Of course they have. Of course they have. I mean, Jose, what did you make of that? I mean, did you see the sending off?
Yeah, I did. And I said on the show yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I said it on the show that to me, was it yesterday or today? Yesterday or today? It might have been this morning on the show this morning. I said to me, it's really harsh for the team that loses the player, but as Jess said, within the letter of the law, it is a booking. And because it became his second booking, it then translates into a red card. It's harsh for the team that has a player sent off like that. It is harsh, but within the letters of the law, and that's what you're looking at, the referee, as Jess just said, had no option other than to act upon it and give him a yellow, which then culminated in being a red. But again, as I say, I will emphasise, harsh for the team. If you lose a player like that, it's harsh. But if you do look at it, Rice does. Rice knows that he's nicking the ball away. If Rice doesn't nick the ball away and the lad goes to kick the ball down the line, Rice probably receives a yellow card for not stepping back from the ball.
Yeah.
So either way, he's caught in a catch-22, isn't he? So, you know,
That's
at the end of the day, like, as I said, it's harsh for a player to be lost like that to a team, but the referee is active within the laws of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing, Jose, I mean, there was a case in the first half where people were crying about it, right? A Brighton player kicked the ball down the touchline and didn't get a yellow card. Well, he won't get a yellow card because the ball is out of play.
Yeah, João Pedro did it in the first half.
You only get a yellow card if the ball is on the field of play. It's in the law of the game, right? Yes, people say, oh, he's time wasting. I don't see it like that. You booted the ball down the line. And let's be honest, right? Let's be honest, in modern football, right? 2 yards behind him is the spare ball on the little pyramid. So that's a load of actual waffle. The fact remains is, yes, he kicked the ball down. The ball's already out of play. The referee had already blown his whistle. So it doesn't come into the argument, mate.
Of course not. Just to answer this before I come to Anthony on this question, on that one. I didn't think so. Second yellow was as soft as fuck, but others have said he moved the ball. I didn't see that. Yet, as Jose just said there, it was a slight little tap out with his foot. It literally glanced the ball and it rolled there, but he knew what he was doing. And as Jose said as well, and I agree on that. You know, you could say the Brighton player, the way he lashed out at Rice, would you say there's a possibility there could have been a yellow in there? But by that stage, the damage had already been done. So it was quite an easy one for them, as you said. So, yeah. As Matt's saying, them's the rules. Sadly, it might be so harsh for Rice under the letter law, but it was correct. And yep, that is his first red card ever also.
Can I just say about Ten Hag, right? If Ten Hag did an interview after the game, right? And the highlight of the interview, you know, the tag to get you into something that he said. You know, when they tagged the words he said.
Yeah.
Apparently, he said, "It's not like I'm Harry Potter. You have to acknowledge that."
Oh my word!
Well, that's the words that he used.
On that note of Harry Potter, we're bringing on our own kind of version of him, and welcome Hot Fuzz.
Fuzzy.
Erik Ten Hag out. Get at my club. Basically, we'll start off with that. But good to see everyone. Thankfully, there's nobody Liverpool on this panel. Otherwise, I might have to commit a murder. But aside from that, yeah, the manager has had every chance in the book for 3 games a season and pre-season to elicit change. And given the last 2 seasons, you say, well, give him benefit of the doubt. Well, yeah, I mean, you've been given choices this season and you've chosen wrong every time. So, yeah, you'll be gone this season. He will be sacked. He'll be gone, and he'll be gone this year. We've got Southampton away, which is literally the most impossible game to lose, which means if he loses it, you know, that explains itself. You've got Aston Villa away.
Oof.
You've got Tottenham at home coming up, and Crystal Palace away. So we could realistically, out the next 4 games after international break, bloody hell, you could potentially lose all of those. I mean, Southampton should be a win. Nothing less than that. And Palace, you know, can seem to be blowing a little hot, a little cold this season. But fucking hell, like if you lose the next 2 games, for example, that's 3 or no, actually no, lose the first game after the international break. That's 3 out of your first 4 that you've lost. Drop 9 points in 12.
Wow. Yeah, the Southampton game might be tricky for you, Fuzzy, because they've got Cornet now from West Ham, so they're going to win that game now. You know, Cornet, the game changer, he's going to come in and he's going to smash it out the park for him, basically.
Well, yeah, it's possible. You know, the only home game out of the next 4 we got is Tottenham. Well, Liverpool have basically turned Old Trafford into their second home.
Mm.
What, are Tottenham going to do that as well? Turn it into their second home?
Well, I think I'll leave that question to answer from Jose, because obviously we've got a Tottenham guy on the panel, so he can answer that for you.
How many goals do you reckon you're getting past us?
I watched the game today, Faz, and I just felt, I said it earlier because you haven't been on. I said earlier
Afternoon, Lawrence.
that Manchester United, the way they played today, is
Sorry.
reminiscent of how they played last season, where they were easy to get through the middle, and Casemiro looked completely off it again in the first half. Oh, sorry,
Oh, yeah.
dog's going mad. Yeah, so at the end of the day, he's got some issues there to deal with, Ten Hag, at your club.
Well, I mean, he might have issues to deal with, but I think he's probably showing out to be one of the biggest issues.
I mean, I've never met you, but what would your take on what happened in the summer, where Man United went and apparently interviewed all these people for the job and that, and then left it 4 weeks to tell him that he had the role still? Was that the right thing, the wrong thing to do? I mean, I don't know, because I don't know nothing about the ins and outs of Man United. So
I would probably put that down to a sort of like he's probably balanced on a knife's edge, I think. But they probably wanted to say, well, give him the benefit of the doubt, because one of the things they said when they did their review was that they feel like the previous administrations hadn't like properly backed him or done sensible business in order to actually warrant Ten Hag actually getting the best results from the squad. So they said, well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and let's show him that we'll stick with him going to the third season, and use this summer transfer window to try and back him as properly as they could. Problem is that the manager, despite essentially saying what he wanted to change in the summer, some of those fundamental changes have happened. He's got defenders that play the way he wants to play, that have played with him before. He's just signed a midfielder now, albeit you can't play a player that's not registered in time, so that was always going to be difficult. But your striker up top, the previous 2 games, substitute appearance rather than starting him, and one thing I just don't know what's going on, whether it's him or whether there's a contract clause for Rashford. That guy needs to not be dropped but be sold or sacked. One of those options, because that guy seemingly is impossible to see him off the pitch for Manchester United. It's impossible. He starts every game, plays 90 minutes. If he gets dropped because of political reasons, back in after half-time. It's not possible to get this guy out of the team. There has to be either a contract clause there or something else going on that's really sinister at the club, or just every manager, including Ten Hag, has got some weird obsession about playing players that are the best paid rather than best quality or best in form. So I don't know what's going on with that. But for me, the Ten Hag decision in the summer had to be off we'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but you got to prove us right. And so far, he's proven not just wrong, but he's proven them terribly wrong. So I think they're going to have to think about, sorting out a sacking, within the next couple of months. I think the only positive for them in terms of managerial searches is that they can recruit from within. They've got both 2 first team managers in Ruud van Nistelrooy and also Rene Heck, so they can recruit from within if they do so have to sack him. So it's only just a payout, and then your replacement's already there and can start work right away without needing to do any searching.
So here's another Man United guy as well, Mr. Joshy J. Good evening, panel in the chat. I'm seething with Man United this afternoon. Oh, imagine it. Yeah. So not good at all. And hi, Luke and Tyre, saying hello to each other as always. Tony the legend. Big up memory rate, Baker percent. Yeah. So saying hello to you. So we're catching up on the chat. I know I'm a fair way behind. Anthony, I mean, obviously, just going to go back onto the and obviously Fuzzy will ask the same question to you guys. Just going on to you, Anthony. What did you think about the Rice situation first of all?
Well, first of all, when I watched it, I was actually in a pub having a meal with the family, and it was on the telly. And I was looking up, and all I saw was Declan Rice being sent off. And I'm thinking, well, what's he got sent off for? And then from what I gathered, well, when I first looked at it, I thought, hang on a second, this ain't a bloody sending off. And I thought if anybody should have got the booking, it should have been that Veltman from Brighton, obviously kicking out at Declan Rice. I think he should have had a booking personally. That's my opinion. And then when you look at it, I thought to myself, yeah, okay, he did touch the ball. I know that, and I know it states within the rule, but it's not like he actually smashed the ball bang the bloody pitch or anything like that. So to me, it was 50-50. I didn't care what the rule states and what the referees say about it, to be honest with you, because let's not focus on that and let's start focusing more on VAR. Because the last couple of weeks there's been bad VAR. Because last night, I had when we was on Yeti's show, I had you and Yeti on to me about the Rice situation, and I was like, well, hang on, because I didn't see it, but then when I seen it clearly, when I was on the show last night, I actually saw it, what went on Sky Sports News, and they showed the clip, and I thought to myself, yeah, he did touch it, but it's minimum. We've seen worse. We've seen players in that situation do far worse than what Declan Rice did, in my opinion. But look, it states it in the rule. He's done it. Obviously, yellow card, resulting to the red, and he misses Tottenham and the Man City game.
Yeah, of
and
course.
I think it's Bournemouth we got after Man City. So, it's a vital loss. That spine of that team with Declan Rice not being there. So, it's going to be an hard one. The problem is now is a guessing game of who Mikel Arteta is going to put in the middle there to replace him. I mean, who's going to be there? Is it going to be Jorginho, or is it going to be Zinchenko? Is only going to have to be one of them two.
I mean, what did you make of it, Fuzzy, yourself? Did you see the actual challenge?
Yeah, I mean the first yellow card. I think some people say, well, you slowed down. Probably you could say, well, maybe you could get away with not getting booked for that. But I mean, because the game is played in real time, sometimes you get those sort of collisions that look a lot worse than they actually are. So understandable, referee gives a yellow card for that. But surely with Declan Rice, right? You're booked. And you want to be a little shithouse. You do. You really want it. It's itching in your veins, right? You want to be a little shithouse. The ball's about to be kicked, right? It's about to be kicked. You can hear the guy's got up and he started to run towards you. You could probably feel him like he's running across the ground. He's ready to kick it because he wants to take the free kick fast, right? He wants to be a bit more proactive with it. Under what circumstance do you think, well, I'm on a booking, let me just jeopardize my position on the pitch? For me, if I've acknowledged that I'm on a yellow, and I'd think, I'm going to look like a right clown here if I start pretending that, what are you talking about? That's not yellow. It's not yellow. Well, if in the cases that you've seen it before where players stand in front of free kicks or block or stop the ball from being kicked on somebody who's taking the free kick, usually the referee books them. In any case and scenario, usually the referee goes, right, yellow card for you. This can't really be any different, even if it is a small little nudge on the ball and it looks innocent. But the fundamentals is that the guy's about to kick the ball to take the free kick, to get play underway. Declan Rice has gone, no, touch it first, and then gets kicked. So, sorry, Declan, but you got to own that, I'm afraid.
Do you not remember in a game? Well, you probably won't, but 2 years ago, there was exactly what Fuzzy's just said. There was, I think we were playing Tottenham. I think it was Tottenham. Might be wrong. But Xhaka, Tottenham had a free kick, right?
Mm.
The referee
Big up,
popped the old shaving foam down. They popped the ball behind the line, and Xhaka tapped it away.
Yeah.
And the referee booked him. It's
Yeah.
just basically it comes under the law of descent. So it's
Mm.
no different, really. You know,
Paddy. Yeah, of course.
the referee stopped play, popped the line down. The Tottenham guy had placed the ball, and Xhaka kicked it about a yard, so he got booked for it. So it is what it is, man.
If I wasn't enough of a warning for Declan as well, by the way, he did just commit the foul on the Brighton player just before that,
Exactly.
and the referee
Yeah.
just said,
Yeah.
no booking for that one, but just so you know, you're on a yellow." And then he goes and does tomfoolery. Right. Okay.
Mm.
You're asking for it.
Yeah.
It's only a one-game ban, guys, because 2 yellows is only a one-ban
Yeah,
game.
it's only the one. It's only
Mm.
the one.
Oh, is it? Oh, right. That's all right then.
Yeah, it's only the one game. So
Yeah.
it will be the Tottenham game.
It's not, mate. It's we haven't got him for Tottenham, so
No.
that's a bad day
Yeah.
out, isn't it? Blimey, we've got to go up the lane, and we ain't got Declan Rice. Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
And Jose's not gloating at all when it comes to that part. You just see him. Look, he's just sitting there chilled out. It's nobody's business, you know. But, yeah, as Anthony said, it's who you're going to get into to cover there. Is it going to be Jorginho? You ain't got Xhaka, so you can't rely on that one. Or
He's going to be Zinchenko, I reckon.
I was going to say Marino, but of course, no. He's
He's out.
unfortunately he's broke his collarbone. You know. Oh.
Yeah.
Was that
Break
then?
his collarbone, was it his shoulder?
Shoulder? No, sorry, not collarbone. It was his shoulder, wasn't it? The shoulder. He's
Mm.
broke that.
People are saying, "Oh, I'll be out for 6 weeks." You break your shoulder, mate. That's 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
know. I mean, not that I've ever done it, but I know people that have had serious shoulder injuries. So he ain't back here anytime soon, because not only has he got to get that shoulder back and working, it's the ligament damage and all the other crap that goes with it. And then he's got to get match fit.
Stress test.
Don't expect to
Yeah.
see him anytime quick before January, in my book.
I mean, this is the second season now, and you know you had the same with Timber, and there you know in the first game, and then you got this player, you signed him, and yeah, poor old sod. At least he was
Thanks,
in the, he was
Gabriel.
in the crowd. Yeah, Gabriel, yeah, of all people.
Yeah.
I'm all ready for tomorrow with Terence. Yeah, it should be a good spotlight tomorrow evening there, Joanne. I think everyone's kind of got their Q&As ready for him. Going to give him a ton of questions, I do believe. What I've just pinned here, because I think it's a good comment from Michael on that. Talking about with Salah leaving. Yeah, Liverpool will be in for Kudos as a replacement, 85 million that they can afford it. I mean, obviously, no one came in for Kudos this window, so we're pleased with that. But at the same point, it won't take long. I don't believe it will be that long at all.
Mm.
So, is the title all but done already? 3 games in, is the title already? You know, City's still out, and it's going to be City's all the way through.
Can be tough to overtake them, that's for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was chatting earlier. If you look at it from this point of view, right, which Arsenal are 2 points behind them already, right? If we lose away to Tottenham, and I can see that happening, to be honest, I can honestly see that because we just haven't got the depth we needed. We've sold Arteta short. We haven't done the business that we should have done. Arsenal are 2 injuries away from capitulation.
Yeah.
And a silly
Yeah,
woman
Rodney.
who goes from the Highbury squad, all she was saying yesterday, right? Be happy, support the club, right? We made money on the players we sold. Hello? Where's the player? Where's the trophies then? I don't give a damn if we made 25 million or whatever in sales. I want trophies. And if we lose to Tottenham,
Pick up Ryan.
right, we've then got Atalanta away in the Champions League. And then we got Man City away. So let's say, hypothetically, we lose both those games, Tottenham, Man City. That means we're 8 points behind after 5 games. Do you honestly think this team that Arsenal have got, can actually bring that back? You'd have to be mad to think that.
We're 6 points behind already after 3 games.
It's just crazy, you know.
Big up, Ravi.
I honestly think, I hope, right? If that does happen, I don't want us to lose those games. Don't get me wrong. But if we do lose them, I just hope it turns the fan base's heads to actually say, it's time. It's not going down the right road, and it's time for these people to get out of the club. Because otherwise, we're just going to be sitting here thinking, what is going on? You know, Tottenham have done some business this summer, right? If you want my honest opinion, I think they've done better than Arsenal, right? We've got another Chelsea reject, right? And this seems to be the continual thing. It must be written into some contract we've got with Chelsea. And people honestly sitting there naively turning their heads again, you know, like, it doesn't really matter. Get out of here, man. It'll be 22 years this year that we haven't won a league title. 22 years. We've got to fight on 4 fronts: Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League. And we've got Atalanta away, then we've got Inter Milan away. I mean, that's a great start, isn't it?
Cool.
And people sitting here telling me that we're going to compete. Get out of here. What are you watching? Like, I'll tell you what, if you're that good and that happy about it, I'd love to have something with what you're drinking.
Even in Destiny.
I'm not seeing anything of that. Not at all.
I mean, what do you guys make of Man City? Anthony, I'll start with you, actually.
Well, they're quality. I've already said it, and I'll keep saying it this season. We've got a Team A, a Team B, and a Team C. And that Team C, they can jumble up, like, you know, Team A and Team B together, and they're still win and produce good results like the game. So, in all fairness, it's theirs to win. They will win it a 5th time. I mean, I've been looking at Liverpool. Liverpool is most probably up there. We're most probably up there with them, but we're not going to win it. So, if in all fairness, the way it looks like, Arsenal most probably either finish 2nd or 3rd this season. You know, I mean, November, he's been here 5 years. 5 years, and he spent 850 million. 850. And what's he won? I mean, you look at it, I said it on Jez's show. When he won the FA Cup, 20% of that team was Unai Emery's. 80% of that was still Arsene Wenger's team. He won them the cup, the trophy, the FA Cup. Got rid of them, spent £850 million on his own players. Yeah, one fuck all. So, but this is what the fan base is like. Oh yeah, but he's improving. He's doing this. He's doing that. And no doubt, I'm going to be hearing it in work tomorrow. You know, and it bores me. It absolutely bores me. And it's like there's a saying. You know, you can't. I think I can't educate pork, but I think I can cure it. You know, that's a true saying. So, you know, I just don't know where this fan base comes from. And it's Mikel Arteta. He's like what I'm going to say now. Man City lost 4 Premier League games last season. We lose to Tottenham. We lose to Man City. That's half those games he lost last season. And what's that? That's 5 games into the season already so far. If we lose those 2, I reckon it'd be over by February, Tim. I really do. I reckon it'd be over by January, straight February.
That long? Do you reckon that long? I reckon it could be done by Christmas.
Just saying good evening to Wurs Lurbert. Thunder and lightning down here in Bristol today. Stood in the field all day. I'm bloody drenched. There's your cousin, Anthony.
Good. I'm glad it's safe.
I mean, Fuzzy, what do you make of Man City at the moment?
Champions elect.
being your kind of closest kind of rival to the team you support. Jesus. Yeah, Champions Select. I
Closest.
agree on that.
Anything close with us at the moment is bloody distance from between our home stadiums. If we can even call Old Trafford at home anymore, because we seem to be playing like an away team in most home games now. But yeah, I think what they've got with their team at the moment, just way too much quality, better depth in quality than anybody else at the top end of the table. That's one thing about Manchester City squad that nobody else can say. Nobody. When you look at the bench every single match week, there's about five top quality players that are as good enough as the players on the pitch starting. You've got 5 players to rotate with quite easily, and all of your other substitutes come on and can do a job. They all know their roles. They all understand what they're all doing. Arsenal don't have that depth on the bench. They don't. You can't go to that bench and flip around half of that first team and still have the levels not drop. Liverpool can't do that. They're probably the closest Liverpool in terms of quality, the level from first team to bench. Tottenham can't really do it. Man United can't do it. Whoever else, Chelsea, I mean, in terms of their level, they've got some players that can be good enough to start. I mean, they've got hundreds of players anyway, so they'd probably play Connect Four with the amount of first teams they could probably put out on the pitch. But yeah, just nobody really can live up to Man City's squad level, and just how far that team is well structured, and the kind of quality that you can bring off as a substitute, or if you've got a cup game midweek or a Champions League game midweek and you fancy resting a player, the player you replace them with is just as good, if not better, than the player that you just popped back onto the bench. There's a lot of work that clubs have got to do to catch up, to be out far and away better than Manchester City. A huge amount of work.
I mean, what do you make of it, Jose, yourself? I mean, what you've seen of them so far?
I am only because of the Fantasy Premier League. I'm not putting Haaland in my team because he was too dear at the start of the season. I thought about it and I thought, you know what? Yeah, pretty much what the panel has said, right? Man City, squad-wise, they've got the best squad in the whole of the Premiership. Player for player, and players that come off the bench, and players that like people have said, that their levels don't drop and stuff like that. But then I thought about it and I thought, if look, Man City are playing on 4 fronts this season, will Haaland play every game? Right? Because they don't have another striker, not one an heir apparent that you can say, no. Alvarez could have come in and he could have rotated with Alvarez. But there again, some of the managers that we now have in the Premiership aspire to play the same way or do things that Pep does with the false 9 stuff. There's a few clubs that have played with a false 9. Arsenal have done it. Man United done it with Fernandes. We've done it with Kulusevski. There's a few clubs that have actually done this, but the masters at it are Man City. So I thought to myself, well, what happens if Haaland gets injured? Then I thought to myself, do you know what? They've just signed Gundogan, right? Yeah. And they can have Gundogan or De Bruyne or someone like that going and playing the false 9 or rotating the false 9 and stuff. So yeah, if Man City don't lose it in the courts, then I think it's Man City's title to lose. If they don't lose it in the courts, yeah, it's their title to lose. I mean, it's scary that they started the season off so well, and then you look at players that they've got on the bench, and more so some of the defenders that they've got on the bench that can't get into the or don't start, that are on the bench. And also the positive for Man City this season is, I didn't rate Jeremy Doku last year. I thought he was a waste of space last year, but I think he started really well this season, and he looks a threat this season. and it's a good sign for them, but not a good sign for the rest of us, but it's a good sign for them that Doku's actually turned up and played. I thought that Nunes came on yesterday and he looked all right.
Yeah,
I always thought Nunes was a central midfielder, but he played out wide when he came on yesterday, and I didn't think he looked that bad when he come on and played out wide. I mean, Rodri hasn't even played yet. I mean, you can...
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying that Rodri's going to be the game changer for him, and it's a case of no, everyone's stepping up and
like everybody else, I'm thinking to myself, unless they lose it in the courts, then it's Man City's to lose. To be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the benches and that. I looked at Liverpool's bench just now because of what people were talking, and they had about 4 or 5 defenders on their bench today. So I don't know whether they've got injuries, but the only 2 attacking players that they had were the 2 that came on, Gakpo and Nunez. So yeah, I don't know. Liverpool probably got a stronger bench than a lot of others, but yeah, none of us in the Premiership have got a bench anywhere near and anywhere near Manchester City. And also, whoever Manchester City get on their bench, they would probably get into most other Premiership teams as well.
Yeah,
so it's an hard one, isn't it? Really is. It's an hard one for all of us.
Definitely. Michael, he does. He misses the Spurs game, as we've said. And I know I'm catching up with the chat, etc., because I know it's gone mad crazy. I mean, obviously, I did a watch along, and Jez joined me for that one as well. And looking at the actual game, we started off well, and I think both of us was quite impressed that we thought, maybe West Ham's going to do something here. But that soon kind of fizzled out, and you see City started to gain momentum, and then, for the first goal, I think Moses would have been proud because basically the way that Kilman and Mavropanos parted in the middle, and Haaland just got through the middle there, and it was an easy one to put away. The second goal, well, that was just a screamer, and there was no effort from him as well. I mean, it just strikes for the ball in there, and all of a sudden, took the net out near enough, and and then for the third goal, the man's a beast, and if, what you said there, Jose, if he stays fit for the rest of the season, we're probably going to be looking 40 plus goals for this man if we're not careful. He's just, he's unreal. And the thing is, the difference, I think, this season as well, if you look at, is he's playing with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
And when he's doing that, any player that's got a smile on their face and they're scoring goals and they're dangerous, as simple as that.
I think what I was trying to allude to was that because they're playing on 4 fronts, let's put it this way: Haaland will start in the Premiership, Haaland will start in Europe. but that's a lot of games. That's already what? It's 8 games just in the group stages and 38 leagues. That's 46 games already that they don't have another striker. He will start those games. But then, are they going to rest him in, I don't know, 3rd round of the Carabao Cup, 3rd round of the FA Cup and stuff like that? Will they give him a rest? And if they then do give him a rest, it's what system will they then play then? But because of the players that they've got, they can probably end up playing with 3 10s, a false 9 rotating to another false 9. There's different ways that they can play. So he's come and subbed to you, by the way, Johnny Bethnal Green. He's a few comments further down.
Oh, brilliant, mate. Yeah, because obviously what you've got to realise, people in the chat, this is a multi-stream. Obviously, it is my show, and also Jose, Jez, Hot Fuzz, they have all linked onto this. So it is a multi-stream show. That's why I like the comment from earlier on, kind of thing I see in the West Ham kind of content and making a joke of it. But yeah, we all kind of elaborate on this kind of thing, which makes it quite enjoyable. And we get you guys to put the great comments in there and that, which I'm slowly and surely but getting through to anyway. There's a couple of one I want to pin to that I've done. Matt said this one earlier to though, Jose. He's saying Spurs are a mess and Postecoglou has no tactics apart from rush and lump it long. Would you agree with that?
Right. So I went on a stream after the game had finished, and as per normal, within our fan base, or it seems to be a normal within our fan base, it's very, very. You've got the people that swing right over to this side, and then you've got those that stay in the middle, and then the ones that go over to this, right over to this side. So it's quite difficult to appease a lot of these people. But I went on and I turned around and I said, for me, we did everything, switched off for 2 goals, did everything. We didn't score. We had chances, created chances, shots, and we didn't score the goals to win the game. But if I look at these 3 games now, it's a 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss, and I compare them to the first 3 games last season, then we're playing different football. We're playing much more attacking football. We're controlling games a lot more, and and at the end of the day, we missed the number 9, and the other clubs would turn around and say they missed the number 9 as well. But we missed the number 9. Sonny is not your number 9. Kulu is not the number 9. And we didn't have a number 9 today. Had a number 9 today, we probably would have put some of them chances away. But it's if buts and monkey nuts, isn't it? At the end of the day,
Yeah,
we lost 2-1. End of story. There's no point bleating over it. We lost. They scored 2 goals. We scored 1. The storybook will tell you it was 2-1 to Newcastle. It won't tell you that we had more possession, that we had more chances, that we played more passes, we had more ball control. Forget all that. We lost the game. But I find it positive in the way that we're playing. A lot of people will turn around and say that he plays suicide high line football. I would turn around and say that I think there's a lot of teams in the Premiership that play high line football. To me, football, and I make no bones about this, some of the gentlemen here will probably be of the same era as me. Some might be slightly older, some might be younger. But for me, football has become, especially in the last 10 years, has become so robotic. You are told where to stand. You're told where to receive the ball. You're told where to give the ball to. You're told where to move to. Absolutely everything. In the olden days, going back 10 years plus, football, we had mavericks. We had people that had artistry. We had people that had skill. In all clubs, we all had them. We all had great players that would play football and would get you off the edge of your seat, get you out of your seat, get you jumping up and down. You talk about after the game and having a pint. Did you see what he did there? Now football's become so static and so robotic that a lot of the teams that are playing now are all playing similar systems, similar styles, because it's all become robotic. And to me, give me the days when we had when teams had players that could get you off your seat. That's what I'd love, that kind of football again.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
I fear that we're far away from that at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what I said. They're athletes today. They're not footballers. They're just athletes, and that's it. You're right. You can watch a game. You can either be Arsenal, Man City, or any other game. And to be honest with you, it's like what you said. They didn't really get you off your seat these games, and they didn't get me off my seat. Yeah, I just take it as it comes, man. But how the games comes, how the players play. Especially if you've got a certain manager who don't want to win things, it chucks for the domestic trophies in the bin. Nothing surprises me now coming from Arsenal Football Club. So I get what you're saying.
I mean, I agree with what Jose said. I mean, we've mentioned this a few times already in previous shows. It's the fact of now it seems that everyone's got the same kind of blueprint. It's either kind of like, inverted, you play down the wings, chuck it in, and that's really it. There's no kind of old school defending you're seeing anymore, and basically pressing as a unit. I mean,
copy Pep, guys. Copy Pep.
Yeah. I think that's what it kind of boils down to, really, when you think about it. It's
even Messi. Even Lionel Messi said that Pep's style of play killed football. He said it. He literally said, "Well, Pep, with all of this, pass this, pass that, all kids get taught instead of, work on flourishing as a football player and being a unique style of player. No, focus on being able to pass the ball 5 yards, right, and one touch, receive it, switch play, do all of this, do all of that. Like, where's the actual organic part of player development? It's all gone.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Big up, Matty, from the Southern Gooner. Shocking performance by United today. Scandalous performance by Rice yesterday. Yes. The weekend's complete, Matty. Basically, the weekend's complete. I hope you keep him, bro. It's good to see you. Lawrence is asking, are we charging Fuzz for the therapy session?
Yeah, well, pay me.
It depends who's going to be giving the massage. I'm sure there's a certain person that was in the chat earlier that can probably do a massage.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Oh, what are you trying to say, Fuzzy? I'm not alluding to any particular person, basically. But
No.
Mm.
I want to be STD free, thanks.
oh, wow.
Oh god. Bloody hell. Is it this Friday or next Friday is the wedding?
It's the Friday on the month of Never.
The month of Neverland.
Yeah.
Good evening to Lord Rodney. Big up to the lads. Hey, Jose, how could we predict that Spurs would start the season like this? You just kind of account for it, except nearly everyone who supports this club could. I think you just alluded to that as well, Jose. You know,
Mm.
and another one, Steve's putting here. Lopetegui reckons our business isn't finished yet. So, which free transfers do you think we are going for? Oh, bloody hell, Steve! There's only a couple of leagues. The transfer window's still open at the moment, I do believe.
Saudi closes tomorrow,
Mm.
and then
Oh,
the
we're going
Turkish. I think the Turkish league's got another couple of weeks to go after that.
Oh, well, we can't get Zara. He's already moved on, so we can't get hold of him. And Tony's been snapped up.
What about Fred? He scored a hat trick the other day for Fenerbahce.
Wow.
Fred, the ex-Man United player.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Adrian Rabiot, still a free agent.
That'd be
He
a nice
wasn't
one.
picked
Yeah.
up. He wasn't picked up by anybody.
Aubameyang, did you get him?
Has Memphis Depay gone to any club yet? Apparently he's
No,
a
I
free
think
agent.
you still think. I think we missed out because Sebastian Haller moved on again, didn't he? So, but yeah, I don't know who would get it.
Did
Really, to be honest with you.
Did Matip go to another club?
I don't think he did actually. I think there's talks
Just
about that
he's-
as well.
Yeah, because I think he's currently still a free agent. Current team. Yeah, no, I think he is a free agent at the moment.
So there you go. That could be the one. We can go for that. Just this one I want to cover because obviously it was quite interesting. They seem like they can't buy a win at the moment. Everton 2-0 up, and then to lose out 3-2. Apparently there was a demonstration after the game. I mean, who do we blame on this? Do you blame Matt Daichi or do you actually kind of blame the board?
I went to the game last week when we beat them last week, and they were so easy to play against. Honestly, they were so easy to play against. The disconnect between their defence, their midfield, and Calvert-Lewin, there was big, massive gaps. There's like 40-yard gaps between, and they were so easy to play against. At the end of the day, I think a lot of it has been financial mismanagement at the club, if I'm going to look at it like that. And they tried to get themselves out of trouble, like other clubs did as well, prior to June the 30th, when they did all that horse trading in clear sight and plain sight of everyone. And they just haven't bought really well, have they? You know.
No. No.
I thought defensively last season they had one of the best defences after Arsenal. And Man City. Everton had a really tight defence. And if you beat Everton, it was a hard-fought game and you're beaten by the odd goal here and there. And from what I've seen so far this season, yeah, they're open and too easy to play against. Yesterday, for 85 minutes, they controlled the game. And then for the last 10 minutes, they pressed the self-destruct button.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that their centre-half partnership of Keane and Tarkowski quite works. They had a youngster play at right back because of Ashley Young being sent off on the first game of the season. They had a youngster called Dixon playing right back, but yesterday they had the old boy, the Irish fella, Seamus Coleman playing for him. His legs are completely gone. You know, he can probably give you the know-how and stuff like that, but his legs don't carry what his head says. And in midfield, they've lost Danana. Igbarunum's not the answer. He's a young kid, but I don't know whether he's the answer for them. And there's a complete disconnect. I think there's a disconnect. They don't get enough service, or they didn't last week. They don't get enough service up to Calvert-Lewin. And if Calvert-Lewin comes off, they've got exactly the same kind of type player in Beto that comes on. So nothing changes. They've got nothing to change. So for me, I think it's a lot of the mismanagement, and unfortunately Everton are where they are because of financial mismanagement. They can't buy in that because they spent so badly in the past. They can't buy in that, and they've got the squad that they've got.
I mean, it's quite shocking, though, isn't it, when you think that so far 3 games in, and already they're calling for the ball to be. We know there's a mess at Everton. Ever kind of consulting that seems to go and buy the club. Obviously, there's something to do with, the financials can't be adding up because each time it looks like it's a done deal, they pull out at the last minute. So it's a complete mess there. But they're going to go into a new stadium next year. So you imagine that. Nice new shiny stadium, and you'd possibly be playing in the Championship. Doesn't look good at all.
Or I had this conversation with an Everton guy.
Mm.
Or will it galvanise them because they're going to have a bigger capacity stadium, right?
Yeah.
So I know if you're down bottom, it's difficult to get the fans in because they're just like But will it galvanise them to sit and they get more people coming to watch them, and that'll give them a kick? I don't know. It's a tricky one, but I think it'd be a great shame if Everton go down.
They've got great support, isn't they, Jez? Everton have got massive support.
Yeah, huge. Yeah,
huge, massive support. They're one of the oldest clubs, aren't they? They've got a massive support. And at the end of the day, like Jez said, they've got a new stadium that they've got to move to Bradley Dock Moor. They've got a new stadium to go to, but there is a danger there. There is a danger for them now that unless a lot of these things get sorted out, they could be in trouble this season. I had them to stay up comfortably. I had them to finish like 12th or 13th. By God, after seeing what they've done for the first 3 games, I'm like, hold on, do I need to revise that?
It's going to be a tough one, I think, Jose. I think it's going to be a tough. I mean, I said this earlier on today. We were talking about it on the watch along I was doing. When you actually look, Everton are the longest team apart from Arsenal being top flight football. 1951, right? Last time they were booted out. So I used to love going to Goodison Park. I think it's a quirky old stadium. It's got the atmosphere, a bit like Highbury used to be back in the day. But I fear for them. I really do fear this could be the end of it. They've struggled for 2 seasons now with their points deductions. They got struggled and fought back, and respect for that. But this could be the final nail. At the moment, it's not looking good, is it? It's really not looking very favourable. So, but I'll be sad if they do go down. I won't lie.
And you got the manager. They got the right person in Deitch. They got the right person, but it's whether they've got the tools as well now. And Deitch has been there a couple of years. He's worked wonders with that team, as you said, with his points deductions. And they've looked in peril a few times, and he's managed to get them further up the league. But you got that thing as well. When results ain't going your way, and the same voice is giving you the same stuff week in, week out, players end up switching off. The loyalty that players have got to some clubs is shocking, and players just end up switching off, don't they? Because they know they can go and get a payday elsewhere. So I do fear for them as well this season.
Yeah, I mean, funny you said about Daichi. Sorry, Jez. I mean, just add on to this comment here from Jose's comment. If Daichi does go in that, Steve's reckoning Moyes is edging closer to Everton because there is that big rumour that it's a possibility that if it all goes south, that Moyes could be the ideal one to just slot back in there. Could be.
I don't know. I tend to agree with Jose. At the end of the day, Dyche is the man. He dragged Percy out of the mire on a couple of occasions. Eventually, of course, they capitulated, and that was the end of that. But I don't know. It's going to be a tough season for them, and I do fear for them. And it will be a great shame to see them go if they do go.
Yeah, because aren't they the second oldest team to stay in the top flight?
Yeah, 1951, mate.
Wow.
The last time they got relegated. And it's only the only other team beyond that is Arsenal. So it'll be sad. It'll be sad for that.
Yeah, definitely. Good afternoon.
This is
Chris-
brilliant.
Chris-
Hello from Tijuana de Baja California Norte. It's superb. It's brilliant. It's just the best place. I was waiting
Yeah.
for you to come to this.
Just one of the back. Yeah. Wow. Hello. Good to see you, Chris Crane. Oh, fussy. Quit whinging and drink your choco milk, son. Good up, Dale.
I wish it would just be laced with something so I can forget about today.
Wow. That ref yesterday doesn't have any personality to ref for a top flight game. Yeah, that's true. Colin saying, Tony, mate, the difference maker Tuesday was Ireland because we had declining Antonio. Falkirk is not fit profile striker we need. I feel we regret not signing one. Yeah, I agree on that. I think that's something we missed out on. And I know on Rob's channel earlier on, they was talking about obviously Duran yet he got scoring again. I think the winner for Aston Villa, and that's something that are we paying the price for not paying that extra little bit of money to get the player over the line? It could rule the day for us, unfortunately, but that's typical West Ham. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying there, Colin. I must admit. The usual saying, after a bad run of 50 defeats, you just can't just give the man a chance. Ooh, interesting. They'll tell tomorrow. He's indeed Lone Star. He will be coming up tomorrow. They were saying about Terry. How's French Bulldog Tony? Yeah, she's doing good. She's all right. She's doing very well. Yeah. Just kind of like wants to jump on your lap as you're doing a stream, like she did yesterday. Yeah, the foundations. That's the one. The foundations. Petty saying Arsenal always saying Tomiyasu will only be out for a couple of weeks. Who knows? It's always a mystery at Arsenal. Yeah, it's true.
True.
Oh man. So is there? I'm assuming that is for Daryl Burns for you. We haven't dealt with contracts for Salah, Trent, Virgil, and Alisson. Well,
Sam was saying like post-match comments as well on on a desk panel. My last year at the club.
Yeah. Well, depends if money talks at the end of the day, Fuzzy. That would be quite interesting.
But if you're talking about money talks, then definitely it's going to be his last year because I doubt you're going to see FSG cough up cash to keep the player.
No, that's true. That is true. Yep, City 5 in a row wrapped up. Yeah, agree on that, Aces. And evening Lee from Football Dad's Army. I can't believe we signed Sterling. We're winning the league. Yeah, Ravi's saying, he was impressed how Liverpool moved the ball and won the ball with ease. Yeah, true. Yeah, the only thing that stopped City winning the title was Haaland getting injured, as Jose kind of alluded to. There's no other kind of out-and-out striker, is it really?
Yeah, but I think they'll still win it. Like what I'm saying is that they don't have another striker, and if he does get injured, the way that Pep sets his teams up is that he could have false nines rotating in Gundogan, De Bruyne, and that. He can have one of them will drop back in, and the other one will go as a false nine, and he could keep rotating that around in a match. That's the luxury that he's got. He can do that with certain players, but he won't have an out-and-out striker unless they buy one in January.
Yeah.
Tony, can I just address this comment here? Eric Rogers, Jez, please sort out your mods. They will kill your channel. They block people for just having a different opinion, which is ridiculous. What is it with people who can't accept people think differently? Pathetic and unsuited, unsubbed. See ya. Eric, my mods only block people if they talk shit. I have the best mods out there, right? So if you're talking bollocks, mate, then you'll get blocked. Fact. That's how it is. If you're rude, insulting towards anybody in the chat, or you say the wrong comments, then you will get blocked. That's what they're there for. I have the best mod out there is Mama Flossie. I have 4 or 5 other mods, right? And if they don't like you and they disagree with what you're saying because you've been an arse, then you'll get blocked. So see you later, fella.
No, I'll come to that one anyway, Jez. I'll catch up, like I said. There's a question here from Ravi, though, as always. A question for Jez and Anthony. Were Arsenal robbed versus Brighton or robbed in the transfer window?
Well, we weren't robbed against Brighton.
No, don't bother getting phone.
We,
Transfer
we,
window, yeah. Transfer window, yeah, definitely. Because we was actually told, I think Mikel Arteta and Bo Fedi would come out the week before the window actually shut and said we were going to have an amazing window and be patient. Excellent signings will come. Where are they? So we got now another Chelsea player in. So, and I read today that loan of Sterling is a possibility that it might not be over one, it could be over 2 seasons. I read this on our Arsenal website, and it won't surprise me if the January transfer window opens, or when it does, we get Modric. So we'll get that, we'll get them. So that'd be it.
I've got a question here for you, Anthony. Do you think, this is my theory, right?
Right.
Do you think the transfer window we had this summer was that crap? Because maybe, just maybe, the Cronkies have turned round to Edu and the board and said, you're not having no more money. You've had the money. Now you've got to work out your own mess. So you've got to get players out and you've got to get players in on your own. We've given you, because if you remember, right, I don't know if you watched the game as well as I did, right, the Arsenal Wolves game. Josh Kroenke sat in that crowd and he did not look very happy.
No.
He looked very, very, very peed off.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just my theory, guys. It's my theory that maybe they've said, enough. You've had 850 million, thereabouts, right? So therefore, you've now got to do your own business. And let's see how far you get. Don't know. I'm just saying that.
I hope it is, Des. Now, do you know what? I hope you're right. Because if it is, and we don't win anything this season, and they look back on it, you never know. A certain Mikel Arteta might be gone. So you could be right.
I don't know. It's just my theory. That's all. Just my theory.
Yeah, no. I like your theory. I like it. I think it's a good theory because it proves now he needs to get out of the ship. Because look at all the players we've got rid of. You know, we've lost plus bonuses as well. We've lost 10 million on Ramsdale. You know, we sent the rest out on loan. Right? We kept refusing money for Eddie Nketiah, but then, you know, it was exactly roughly the same as what bloody Nottingham Forest offered. I think the only thing it was at Nottingham Forest was because Eddie Nketiah demanded he wanted 120 grand a week, even though he's on 100. But I'm not too sure if Palace Palace most probably agreed that. You know, most probably said, well, look, we'll put you on 120 because look at all the players they've sold. And they only managed getting a few players. So they most probably could afford that wages for Eddie Nketiah, 120 grand a week. So, you know, it does make me think. But the good news, there ain't no good news. But with that Sterling, apparently Arsenal are not putting a penny towards his wages. It's Chelsea that's paying his wages because he's agreed to.
We're paying 100 grand. They're paying the other 250.
Right. Well, in that case, then that's sorted us down. So, but then again, it won't surprise me. He makes his debut against Tottenham. You know, they dropped Martinelli and they placed Sterling out on the left. And this is where Trossard's got to think now. And thinking, well, hang on. If Sterling's coming in on the left, he might drop Martinelli for this game. When am I going to get a game? Because it's like what you touched on it. You got Jesus injured. Eddie Nketiah's gone. You got Kai Havertz. If he gets injured, who are we going to stick up front?
Exactly. There you go.
So yeah, I mean we're thin. We're worse off. Yeah, we're worse off now before the transfer window bloody ended. So you know what I mean? It don't make sense.
Just want to say good afternoon to Director John. Thanks for coming onto the panel. Onto the chat there. Hope you're keeping well. He's from On the Stoop. Guys in America, great guys, and always go and see them if you get the chance to as well. Hope you will. What's going on, you handsome bastards? World-class striker in Haaland, and brought back Guando. He's a winner in the MF. A leader, great player, definitely. Taichi. As Matt's saying from the Cherries, what a win for the mighty Cherries yesterday. Deitch first for the sack, because obviously one of the questions is for the panel, who is the first manager sacked this season?
So you know what? It's between Dyche and Ten Hag. I do think it is between those two.
I second that.
Agree
I
with
second
that.
that.
Because with Dyche, I mean, the big question marks with Everton is whether we've got all the funds and finances to pay off Sean Dyche, because if there's any semblance of it them being financially screwed, well, you're going to have to pay even more money to get rid of your manager. So yeah, it's going to be quite difficult. I think with Man United's case, it even before Halloween, before the end of October, he could be gone. It literally, after a couple more results that don't go our way, on thin ice, on borrowed time.
Yeah, agree on that.
There was a Crystal Palace fan earlier on in the chat. I don't know whether he's still here, but I just wanted to see whether that director or whatever it is who's got part of Palace, he's the one that's heading up the new bid to buy Everton, isn't he? And I don't know how far down the line that's gone.
If Paddy's still in here, hopefully he'll answer that for you, Jose. Yeah,
because he seems to be the most concrete person at the moment. But I think he's got 45% stake in Crystal Palace, but they won't allow him to buy Everton unless he relinquishes that stake.
Oh, yeah, because
you can't own two teams. Yeah, you can't own two teams. So if the guy wants Everton, he has to go all in for Everton. He has to leave Palace and sell his 45% stake. Now, if that were to happen, then that person who buys Everton off Moshiri could then have their own plans, and their own plans might be to bring another manager in. You don't know.
No,
it's going to be. It's difficult to know. I mean, I don't know who's the first manager to be sacked, but do you think is it a manager that's going to be sacked, or will it be a manager that walks? That's what I'm thinking. Would it be a manager that gets sacked, or will it be a manager that walks?
Interesting, because obviously I was kind of questionable about with what was going on at Palace, because when you look at Glasner, he has known to walk out on teams before. Mind you saying that, so has Julian Lopetegui. So heads or tails, Jose? Who do you think?
I don't know. No, I'm just asking out loud. I mean, I don't know, because people have asked the question, who's the first manager to get sacked? And I'm thinking to myself, is it a manager that's going to get sacked, or is it a manager that walks? It's the same thing. It's the first manager to leave, but is it going to be a sacking, or is it going to be a walking? And that's what I'm asking.
I've been told. I've been on a show, and they reckon your manager, Ange, if he doesn't get his way to a certain extent, he's been known to walk.
Yeah, and I totally agree. If he's unhappy with the club, he won't wait to be sacked. He'll walk, and I maintain that as well. But it's not. I wasn't I was just referencing any manager in general. To be honest, is it a manager that gets sacked, or is it a manager that ends up walking? Because some of the managers in the league, they've got something about them. They won't wait for the sack to come. Some of them have got values and that, and instead of waiting for that to come, they may say, "Look, this is not for me. Off I go."
Yeah, this is true.
I don't think Deitch will walk. Deitch, but to me, Deitch, he seems to me he's not a quitter. Deitch, he had that at Burnley, but I think Deitch will all out to the very end until if he is sacked, or if he gets the sack. I think Ten Hag would be exactly. I don't think he'd be a quitter. He got more chance of Ten Hag being sacked than him walking out. But it's like what Tony said. His manager and your manager, I feel that they'll be the sort of ones. If it doesn't go their own way and results aren't right, and the team's not gelling, I think that's what you'd say. That they'll walk out. Unfortunately. We me and Jez most probably love our manager to walk out, but we got no chance of that happening now. So
True.
I agree with what Michael said, because obviously talking about the Duran situation, like I said, we put in a bid like this, 36 million, and really, they was holding out for 40 million, £4 million, and yeah, we would have had the player with us, and he's showing that obviously it's paying dividends for Villa, and no doubt that he's going to stay on with them now. £4 million
Yeah.
difference. Yeah, Emerson was poor in that match. The team is figuring out how to play together and its chemistry. Yeah, of course they. I mean, it's virtually a new team. We'll continue to improve and trust the process. Oh, don't use that word, Lawrence. It's a bad omen on the Arsenal people using that word. Trust the process.
don't even know what one is, Tim.
Well, no, you'll find out tomorrow night. Someone will tell you that one. Don't worry. Big up to Tot Spurs. Big up Jose and all. Yep. Oh, please have all alluded. Tim got his priorities wrong. Would have prioritised centre forward and left wing. No sacrifice in quality. There it goes from there. True. Wolves channels raving about Dawson yesterday. Said he was outstanding. Yeah, he put himself around a little bit, I must admit. And as always, Ross is saying, Anthony needs a channel.
Thanks.
Well, we've been saying that for about the last 18 months, haven't we?
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah. I might do. I put it this way. It's not. I'm not saying I ain't gonna do one, but I'm just saying more people are saying it now. So I might come up with my own channel sort of thing. But listen, if I do, that means I'll still be on the good, the bad, and the ugly. And on here as well. So you can't get rid of me, Tom.
No, I ain't gonna. Don't worry about that, mate. I ain't getting rid of you in that. And while we're on that subject, just to mention this guy, and let's give him a bit of support as well, please. Aaron has set up his own channel now, YouTube channel, Arsenal X-rated. So if you can we go over there and help him on the road and smash a little sub for him and that? Great guy. He came on here last week, talked some really good sense, even for an Arsenal fan, if I must say so. But let's make sure we go over there. Give me a little bit of love and support, and let's help him build up his channel, because I think he'll do very well.
Yep, absolutely. Top man. Hey, Anthony, I've got an idea for you.
What's
For
that,
your channel. Right? Why don't you do one about cider and tractors and pasties? Nobody else does it. That'd be quite novel, wouldn't it?
Yeah, tractor compilations.
Yeah.
You'll get all the traction on the internet.
Oh, God. Bloody hell.
I think my joke there's probably just killed that channel.
It's probably out now. Yeah, it's not happening now, guys. You've destroyed it.
I'm getting there, Lawrence. I'm slowly but surely getting there, getting to the comments. I'm getting them there. Well, don't forget, it's the straw chewing Guna. That's what it is. That's the channel straight off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yeah. There's that one.
The thumbnail's already sorted out from already. We already know this,
That's a good one. That is a straw. I do like that one.
Hey, how about this one, right? You could sit in your living room,
right,
with a straw hat on, right, on a bale of straw. What about that?
I could do. Is that wearing a pair of jeans and a long checkered top?
Yeah,
is that
that's the one. Yeah,
the old stock. The old stock. You got a bit of hay,
bit of corn.
And Anthony Herbert sings all the hits. Do all that stuff.
Oh, God.
Got a harvester, and I'll give you.
With the banjo.
Yep.
I want to go back to Teletext and CFAX life. Wow. Yeah, do you remember that?
Oh, do you know what? I would as well, believe it or not. That is one thing that I used to love, was Teletext and CFAX. 3 o'clock, bang, it was on just to see the scores coming in. There you go, Tom. There it is.
Just to help Henry and that, and obviously kind of make Jez feel really loved by seeing that on the background.
And also as well, there's on the papers. I can remember when I used to wake up, get ready for school, before the school bus used to come and pick us up, take us to school. I used to go into the newsagent, and I used to grab the newspaper straight over the back, the Sun newspaper, and then I used to read all the football first. And then I used to turn it over the front, whip it over, then see what page 3 was like at the end before I got on the bus. That was it, and put the paper back. So, you know, you've got to get your priorities right. Football came first.
Yeah.
It's true. It is true. It's a great comment here for me, Ross. You can name 25 top quality strikers back in the day. Now you can name maybe 5 to 10. It's a good shout.
True.
And that is worldwide, and that is at a push.
Yes, that's true,
Yeah.
Jose.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure that. Yeah, absolutely. Evening, Carl. Hope you're good, mate. Good to see you. Michael, please. They need to get rid of under 21 squads and reintroduce the combined league. Yeah, that was good. So players not playing, coming back from injury, and youth all mix. Plus, clubs would get more income. People would go to watch them.
Yeah, the old combination leagues used to work well.
Mm. Yeah,
I
remember them.
I used to referee in the London Combination League.
Well,
you
did
know?
you? I mean, yeah, there's some good teams there back in the day.
Yeah, there were some good teams. I've refereed against, well, not against. I refereed for Chelsea and Wimbledon. Didn't do West Ham. Yeah, but you know, you used to get the young kids out there, right? The under 18s and that, and you used to referee for them. And then later on, maybe 3, 4, 5 years later, you say, "Oh, God, bloody hell, I remember that kid." You know, things like that. And yeah, it was the old football combination leagues. They were really good.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask you, Jez, was it out of principle that you didn't do the West Ham games?
I never got invited, mate. I didn't. I never got selected for it.
Oh wow.
No, I didn't get Tottenham. Didn't get West Ham. Did Millwall. I did Millwall. That was quite a good one. But
Wow.
yeah, I never got invited for. Never got the option for West Ham. It's a
Interesting.
lottery. It was basically a lottery. Really.
Yeah. Evening to Budgie. Evening all. Let's face it, Fuzzy. Manure are exactly that. I've seen better fighting a 90-year-old hooker.
Don't know why you're fighting a 90-year-old hooker, but all to you.
And Richard, evening lads. Hope you're all good. Man United beat 3-0 and Bristol City got beat 3-0. I feel like I want my brother to pick me up in his tractor and take me on the piss.
Well, I don't mind doing that, but he never gets a fucking round in. Do you know what I mean? He used to wear shoes that they were so pointed and so long, they were about a foot long, so he'd stand away from the bar so he couldn't buy a bloody round. It's like, what's going on here? And they had more points than Man United. Jesus, what's that all about?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how he saves up for all these holidays, Anthony. That's what it's all about.
Well,
to do,
that
isn't
must be the thing, Tim. Yeah, fucking hell, he's going on another one next month.
it? I know. You know.
But he's practicing taking all the holidays for every time Man United get beaten, so he can get the opportunity to switch the phone off and just be really hard to reach.
Yeah.
Evening, Budgie. Hey guys, hope you're all good. Yep. Ross, Memphis is back to rapping, Fuzzy. Well, saying that, I mean, obviously, I don't know if you saw it in that and if you remember him. Fat Man Scoop, poor old sod, died on stage the other day.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, rest in peace to Fat Man.
Yeah.
Tony went for the bag. I like this comment because Budgie's got the turkey. So Howard says, new hair, new teeth, or new tits, Budgie. Howard, we'll find out next week if he comes on the show and that we can actually see what he's dressed like. That would be quite interesting.
I bet he's gone for the tits.
One for Ravi for you, Fuzz. Thoughts how United were easily brushed off the park?
Tactically inept, set up to lose by this manager. Literally, I'll tell you what. One thing that's quite sickening is that a lot of the fans that are trying to be the glass half full lot are saying, "Well, just you wait. Agate will come in and will make all the difference." You're telling me that the whole season now has to be pinned upon one player, just one guy to walk into that team, and straight away everything's hunky dory again. Come on now. We all know that's not true. We all know that's not going to happen. Ugarte goes into that team, and we'll still see the same nonsense going on the football pitch. It's got to be to do with the tactics. It has to be to do with the tactics, with what this manager is telling what players to do what and what not to do. Like, for example, Marcus Rashford being told not to track back and reserve your energy. Well, that's a double negative then, isn't it? Because he can't do anything when he's using his energy, which he doesn't do when he's got the ball at his feet. We're literally using Marcus Rashford as the star prime superstar player that doesn't actually, have to do all the hard yards. He's, you stay up front, you occupy those spaces, and we'll bring the ball to you. Why are we bowing down to Marcus Rashford? The guy's had one good season and half of a good season, which was his breakout season. Every other season he's been overhyped, bit of a waste, bit useless, and probably got more fight and passion for what goes on in 10 Downing Street than he has got on Old Trafford's football pitch. It honestly makes no sense, and it's going to be more of the same. I think it is, whether we beat Southampton or not, I hope we do. But at the same time, it's just probably going to be more piss poor performances while scraping by a win. And then you wonder, well, how much longer after that? You're going to be, delaying the inevitable. So, it's a sign of things to come with what's happened today. A sign of things to come, because the last time Liverpool had a game that easy at Old Trafford was when Ollie was in charge, and he was getting beaten 5-0, and people were calling for him to be sacked, whilst all throughout the game. There's not really that much difference today, really not that much difference at all. So we haven't really got anywhere. We haven't progressed. We haven't gone anywhere. Nothing's changed from Ollie. Literally nothing's changed from Ollie.
Well, you've got to trust the process. Look, he's won 2 trophies in 3 seasons now. And he can win another trophy this year. You never know.
You could tell that to him. You could tell that to the manager, and he would say, "You're preaching to the converted, my friend." I feel sorry for you. He says, "I feel sorry for you guys." I feel he genuinely. Everybody else in this panel, Erik ten Hag says he feels sorry for you. He feels sorry for you because Man United have won the most amount of trophies behind City, is how he says it, since he's been in charge. What a load of bollocks that is. What a load of bollocks. And just one more thing as well. The Lingard syndrome that I claim is real. It is absolutely real. Gary Neville said it, right, when he was talking about Marcus Rashford. Oh, he's just a kid who's coming through the ranks.
Even so.
Oh my God. He's a kid. The guy's 26, turning 27 next month. You've just called him a kid. You've called him a bloody kid. You absolute bastard. McTominay ain't a kid. People are still saying, "Oh, but trust him. He's the next big thing." Fuck off. He's not. If you want to talk about upcoming and actual kids, talk about Toby Collier coming on at half time for Casemiro when your team's 2-0 down to its biggest rivals, right? Or its most historic rivals at Old Trafford. Toby Collier, 18, 19 years of age, being subbed on, 2-0 down, massive weight on your shoulders, and handled himself fairly well from an individual standpoint. Kobbie Mainoo, that's a kid working his way through the ranks. He's done more in a Man United shirt as Kobbie Mainoo and has left better impressions in a season than Scott McTominay has since he started playing football for Manchester United 22 years ago. How is that happening? But we're rating one player over the other. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. British media bias. These people literally just take off your British buyer sunglasses and take out your British passports and toss them to the side for a second. Call it as it is. Rashford is a bum. He's a bum. There's no two ways about it. He's been useless on a pitch for bloody years, barring a season where he had his purple patch. And even then, outside of scoring goals and assisting, the other contents of his game weren't that good.
That's true. The thing is, like, you know, you're saying about Rashford, because obviously I'm just kind of linking this up with Michael's comment. You know, we know he's on stupid wages, but as you're saying, clubs need to stop paying stupid wages. They moan when players won't move on. Why do I leave my job to take a wage cut? This is the truth, isn't it?
3 highest earners today for Manchester United were the 3 worst performers. About £1 million per week, £1 million per week between the 3 of them. By far the worst performers on the pitch.
Buzz, I feel your pain. I tell you what, let's all pack our bags and we're all going to go on a fucking guilt trip. Come on, let's go. In the stream.
Unfortunately, with the wage structure, I can't see it ending anytime soon. Can you? Really, at the end of the day, the old Bosman thing is here to stay, basically, unless they think completely changes it all over again.
Well, I think Rashford will be gone next summer. I think he will. Because
will.
whatever tolerance people had, like the past season's gone by, everyone's starting to call him out now. Everyone's starting to see it. And if he carries on for another whole season of this, there will be people letting him know in the streets, leave my club, get out. And the fact is that he's feeling that pressure. He is feeling that pressure because of the amount of posts that he had to put out off the tail end of last season of him crying, saying, "Oh, this is how I feel when you question my passion for the club and my determination to fight with the club." It's like, shut up. We watched you failed the eye test week in, week out. You failed the eye test. Everybody can see it, that you don't put in the same effort as other people that literally have to make way for you. Someone please explain to me how Rashford starts on the left, but Amad Diallo, August's player of the month. August's player of the month. Benched. Bye, bitch. See you on the bench. Garnacho, move to the right. In what bloody world is that normal?
Well, we got the same result with Martinelli and the Trossard. I love to see Trossard. So I think with Trossard coming off the bench, and it's like what I can call it, and it's like what Jess sees. He can call it as well. If Martinelli starts, comes 65 minutes, Trossard is coming on, all right? And we got that. I'd love to see Trossard literally start a game instead of Martinelli. More games, and that's a fact, because I personally, like what Jess was saying with the money situation, if Mikel Arteta's got to sort this squad out, he's offered no more money. Quick question here for you, Jess. Can you possibly see Martinelli leaving in January for him to do that, to bring a player in?
Be honest with you, Anthony, if he doesn't up his game, I think he has to go. He was not good last season. I don't think right now he's still not where he should be. So I can honestly say to you, mate, I could see him moving out.
Yeah, definitely.
Who would we replace him with, though? That's the question. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one, mate. It's going to be a long, long season for Arsenal.
I'm interested to figure out what the dynamic is when Sterling is available. Where does Trossard go in the pecking order? Because if it's sort of split 50-50 between Trossard and Martinelli, we've seen the favourability goes in the way of Martinelli. If it's split down the middle, well, now you've got an extra element for a player that only really plays off the left-hand side. He's not known for playing off the right. So unless there's some crazy plan that Martinelli plays on the right, which I doubt that, and maybe Trossard becomes a player for up top, whilst Jesus is out injured. But even then, he's behind Havertz. You do have to ask questions about what's Trossard's role going to be here, because if you've got if Sterling's playing, Martinelli and Trossard are on your bench, and you need to sub off Sterling, who's going on? Who's getting the nod?
Fact.
Exactly.
Most probably
And I'll be honest
Martinelli.
with you, Trossard looked well, I'll be honest with you, through that game and obviously when the game finished, Trossard to me, he looked pissed off. He literally looked pissed off. And you can't blame him. You can't blame him. Now Sterling's coming. It's like what you said, Fuzzy. You've touched on it. We've got 3 players out there playing on the right now. Martinelli, Trossard, and now Sterling. That's where Sterling played for Liverpool. He played that for Man City, and also he played that on the left-hand side for Chelsea. And then when Sterling was on the left, Palmer was in the middle. And if Sterling was a player, sometimes Palmer was out wide. He was on the left. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's a good question. And I tell you what, it won't surprise me if one of them, personally, I think it should be Martinelli going, but I can see it being Trossard.
Hope not.
Just going off of the question here from Ravi for Eltel, for Jose. Thoughts on the way the Spurs approached the game once they were 1-0 down?
When we went 1-0 down, we attacked the game. We attacked the game in the first half. We attacked the game in the second half. Again, I can't repeat what I said already. Well, I'll repeat what I said already. Stats mean nothing. It's the end of the game. We lost the game 2-1. You know, we had 66% of the possession. We had 20 shots on goal. We had, and I think Newcastle didn't even get to double figures with shots on goal. We had 9 on target to their 3. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. We had the whole of the game, but it was a lapse from Romero. Had 2 lapses in the game that led to both of their goals. Now, at the end of the day, as a fan, we're allowed to critique our club and our players like we all do. And, you know, when you give out praise to someone like Romero because he's done something well, he played really well last week, scored a really good header last week against 2 commanding centre-halves, you know, from a corner, which doesn't usually happen to us. You know, we gave him praise last week, but equally this week, we've got to say, hold on a minute. You had a cigar in your mouth and slippers on for both of their goals. So, you know, at the end of the day, we attacked the whole of the game. I don't know what you want me to say, Ravi. We attacked the whole of the game and we lost 2-1.
Yeah. That question you asked earlier from about Crystal Palace, Paddy's answer.
I read it. Yeah, I read it.
Yeah, so
because I thought that was the case. I thought that he has to sell up in order to go for Everton. He's got to sell up his stake. So
yeah, which most of them tend to do. Yeah. What was the other one? Sankels signed there. So I've done that one. Yeah, we already answered that one, Howard. We were saying it's going to be probably Daichi and then Ten Hag probably in that order. And if he does. Todd Burge is asking, it seems a bit silly for England international break after 3 Premiership games. Yeah.
Oh, mate, drives me round the bloody bend. Seriously.
But it'll happen again. There'll be one next month, won't there? And there'll be one the month after. We'll probably get 3 of these international breaks.
Before Christmas.
One in September, one in October, and we'll get one in November or something. The thing is, though, we all know what the fixture list looks like at the start of the season. We know that these international breaks are in there, you know, but what it does, it like Jez is alluding to, it sends us around the absolute twist because you wait long enough for the Premiership to start. You wait them 10 to 12 weeks, whatever, and then once it starts, you want it to start and roll on. You don't want to have these stop gaps for these international games. But yeah, we now got to wait 2 weeks for decent football again. If you're in the Premiership, that is. And,
the other thing is, Jose, the season's just started, right? We're all getting excited after the Euros and all that, blah blah blah. Yeah. Personally, I thought the Euros was a bag of crap. Personally, if you want my honest opinion, I don't like international football. I think it's boring, and as a creator, like you are, all of us here are, yeah, it kills it kills what you've got something to talk about. Everything goes flat. So, what we're going to do is sit here and talk about the England team. Well, what's there to talk about? It's boring rubbish. I don't want to sit here and talk about England. Doesn't interest me at all. We're shit at international football. We don't achieve anything. We don't go anywhere. So I'd rather be talking about, like, I did a watch long today, not for Arsenal, but I really enjoyed doing that watch long. Liverpool, Man United, Liverpool. It was a giggle. I joined Tony last night for the West Ham Man City. Yeah, it's nice to talk about other teams and do a watch long. You get different people come in your chat. You can have a laugh. I was going to do the Newcastle Tottenham today, but unfortunately I couldn't because of a power strike. But the last thing, I won't lie, the last thing I want to talk about, is England. It's boring. It's not entertainment. It's just boring. So I just fell up with it, man.
I had the summer, Jez. I was forced to talk about Spain. every time I try to big up England, everyone said to me, "Yeah, but Spain ain't half good. Spain look good. Spain." So in the end, I spent the whole summer talking about Spain.
At least they do play football, man. That's the difference.
They play beautiful football. England play terrorist football.
Wow, yeah. Thanks for putting up there, Mama, for Aaron's new channel. Thank you very much. There's been some great comments coming in for Anthony's channels, to start with his new channels. There's a few others here. Anthony's channels should be called in Bristol Rovers History and Tracker. Jez, where the fuck is Anthony's?
I'll get copyright from Jez.
Ross, I can tell you now, Jez is already sorting out with Anthony. He's going to be getting his mug. He's going to be getting it.
They're boxed up, addressed. So is Aaron's. They're sat there. I've just been a lazy ass, right? And I haven't got down to the post office, but I will be going probably tomorrow or Tuesday.
There you go. That's another one from Michael. Cotton Eye Dry Gooners.
Oh, God.
And Pepsi's put in with West Country Gooner. Ross with Anthony's School Bus Tracker.
Instead of the Italian job, call it the Bristol job and just have all three Herberts with their different colour tractors doing the same thing that those three Mini Coopers do. Driving around Bristol.
Yeah, the Bristol job. Yeah, let's see. My point is walking in person. I believe this bad for us to turn around at some point. We'll be nice anyway. Hopefully, we can get another decent one like Bergvale in January. Be interesting. Yeah, so yeah, good to see.
You could do, Anthony. You could do a channel, and every week you could have a show on a Thursday or something where you compare different pasties.
Pasties.
Lamb and mint, starting off with. Yeah.
Yeah. Lamb and mince, first of all.
And ploughman. You could do one about ploughmans.
Ploughmans. I like a ploughman.
So do I. Now,
I love it.
Cheddar. Should it be cheddar or should it be blue Stilton? Now that's
Blue Stilton. Stilton.
I'm with you on that one. Now there you go. That's a show in itself, mate. There you go.
There you go. Started off already, basically. Budgies are making Howard. Mama Flossie's one of the best mods on the planet, basically. And there's your example right there, Howard. Mention the channel, and the link is there in moments. Watch this, Green Street Elites. Wow, Lone Star. That's a brave comment. Arsenal unbeaten this season. We fear no one.
Like it.
So I just see this other comment. I was put here, weekly slot cutting it a cow's ass with a bad joke for the best misses of the week. Oh dear me. There you go. Look, says it straight away. Look, Green Street Elites is up there. But there's a nice comment as well from Roundtable Talk where he says, "I like this panel. Seems to be level-headed fellas." We try. We do try our best. We do try. We try and be as level-headed as possible.
Yeah.
Bear with me, just catching up with this because there's
I
another
put a
one.
spirit level on me head now. Oh no.
Spirit level.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lord, I get you. I agree. I think this is determined to get it right. Yep. If form doesn't improve, I wouldn't put it down to pass Levy, sacking him and putting all the blame on Ange Ball and spinning the spend under him as the reason. Cover his own ass as usual. Yeah, Levy's quite good for doing that, I must admit.
Mm.
We've seen that with a few managers. Lord, I'll be livid. And he's saying the narrative's already begun doing the rounds. Is that true, Jose? I mean, they're already. I've seen on your channel and I've seen on a few Spurs channels that they've mentioned this about Ange. It's like, the dagger's already kind of coming out.
It's right. It's going to be the right. Brutally honest, it's exactly what my thought process, my thoughts were. But right, I went to the game last week, right, and you speak to people that go to the stadium, you speak to the fans that go and watch week in, week out, and they are totally different in opinions to what you get on Shitter and what you get on YouTube, right? On YouTube and Shitter, it's so toxic that you get people that swing and have got a narrative and they've got to pump out that narrative, right? So there's a lot of people that are saying that that Postecoglou won't last till Christmas because the results ain't going to go his way, or he's going to play high lines and that that what's his name, Levy will get rid of him. But this is a narrative that's been it's basically on shit on YouTube. You've got certain groups that are pumping this narrative out. You go to the stadium, and it's like we live in a parallel world. You go and speak to people in the stadium, and their thoughts, because they don't do YouTube, they don't do shit and stuff like that, and their thoughts are like so far from what you can see on social media. Their thoughts are totally different, And if the people on, okay, we do this because we love talking about football. We do our own channels. We love talking about football and we enjoy it and stuff like that. But let's not be fooled. We don't get everybody watching our channel that goes to these football matches. Otherwise, we'd all have channels of like 200,000 plus followers, and upwards if we had all them people. So at the end of the day, what I found last week from speaking to the normal fans last week is they're like, "What are you talking about? Are you mad?" It's a totally different world. It's a parallel world, and I suppose I'm kind of thinking. I'm thinking that at Arsenal and at Man U and at West Ham, because you guys are on, I think it'd be the same at your clubs as well. The narratives that are pumped out by some of the stuff on social media is not what the thoughts are of the people that go to the games.
No, that's true. I agree on that. Yeah, very true. Jez, you're wrong, mate. He's going back for his teeth.
Fair enough.
Not tits. So better than ever.
We'll see him on his next show. Let's see, shall we? You know what I'm saying?
Dave Oscar going to say, "Hi lads, thoughts on yesterday's result versus BHA?"
That's Brighton.
I know what it is. Jeez.
No, I thought, in all fairness, I thought it was a fair result. I mean, you've got to give Brighton credit. You've got to, because the young manager they've got there, the players he's brought in, they seem to gel straight away. I personally think Brighton's going to be a threat this season. They're going to do something, top 6 maybe? So, it does make you think. And that other striker, that Pedro, he's coming on leaps and bounds. He didn't have a bad season last season, but I think now the season carries on, I think we're going to see more out of him, goals and assists and all that sort of thing. Hence, that's why I got him in my fantasy football team. Didn't copy me team. Fuzz, your team shit. They're near the bottom. But yeah, fair play on him. I thought we could have actually won that game. There were 2 chances towards the end. One from Saka, and then there was another one from Havertz. But the ball was passed. It was passed him a bit too hard. So that was when he went out, sort of thing. But I think 1-1, I think is a fair result. I mean, because you look at the result when they played against Man United and lost. We could have quite easily lost that game as well. So, in all fairness, very good team. I'm happy with them.
Yeah, because who's the guy that got the goal from? Because he could have got one near the end as well, couldn't he, for Brighton? I forgot his bloody name there.
João
Someone's
Pedro.
name. That's the one. Pedro. Yeah.
Pedro,
João Pedro. Yeah. I'm glad I still remember your name, Jose. Now I'm usually sometimes the names, mate. You know, so.
I'll tell you who's doing a good turn with Brighton. It's bloody Danny Welbeck. He's 33
Yes.
now, Welbeck.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, he's been around the block. He knows the Premiership, and mate, God, he's still got it, and and he's done such a good turn because everyone was talking about the young Irish lad, weren't they? The 18-year-old.
Ferguson.
Yeah, that they wanted 100 odd million for. They rated him at 100 million striker. Well, since they rated him as a 100 million striker, he's never got in, and Welbeck gets all the opportunities, and Welbeck knows his way around the pitch. Welbeck has done a really, really good job for him. But then Brighton they've got a good mix in there. They've got a couple of older heads in their team,
Milner.
and then you've got Milner there as well, and then you've got Dunk there as well, and then you've got all the young uns and all that around them, sprinkled around them. So Brighton have done one, and the players that they've bought on paper, because they haven't all played. On paper, they look really, really, really good players, and I've seen them play for their previous clubs, and like the Max Wiffer and people like that. They look really good players, but it's whether they can gel into the team. And if they can gel into the team, then Brighton will cause people problems this season.
Yeah,
I think so. I think they're the dark horse, basically. Like as Anthony said, the young manager and that. I think he's got a lot of potential to prove, and he's doing really well there. And they're well organised club as well. From start to finish. So, or should I say, top to bottom. Pepsi, Rashford winning about West Ham. No. Remember the pensioners. No.
We'll do a swap deal. We'll do a swap deal in January, right? We'll get Trossard, who'll be unhappy, and have a natural winger at our club, and they can have the PR merchant and Marcus Rashford. He's closer to his office. He's closest to his office in 10 Downing Street, isn't he?
That's true. Yeah, I
don't have to go so far to get to the office. He can work from home, can work at the office.
Yeah, he can go to one side of let him go to one side of North London and not East London. I'll be happy with that. As the pensioners club, which is known as Arsenal, he can Rashford can end up there as well.
No.
Well, just going to throw this one into the mix as we're talking about Downing Street, because this is an interesting one. I don't know if you've seen this, and Jason Birchett has I've starred this one because this is dear me. Can you not vape on TV? Starmer's banning it. Even though after watching City yesterday down the ground and the resign of Gundogan, they were cream the league of the season. Rice for me, never a red. Yeah, good evening, Jason. But yeah, have you seen this? Basically, they're talking about banning smoking now outdoors in certain places.
Outside pubs and all that as well.
Yeah.
Starmer, I'm not being funny. If he was here now, guess what?
He's a top gooner.
No.
Yes, of course.
I don't care if he is. No, I don't care if he is. I would literally, I will kick him in the bollocks because I don't like the guy, and I'll tell it, and I'll buy a vape and I'll vape it in front of him as well. That guy is an absolute asshole, and whoever voted him for him to get him in, God, ludicrous.
I don't think he's going to last too long because since that man's been in power. He made the statement this week that the October budget, right, people aren't going to like it.
Yes. Yeah.
So we know taxes are going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. He's going to stop payments for certain pensioners, right, who, obviously...
Heating allowance, isn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah, heating allowance. For those people that have got a few quid. Those people have paid taxes all their lives and they're entitled to it. Now, if this man keeps doing what he's doing, I'm not going to get into the race thing because I don't think it's appropriate, but this man is going to shoot himself right in the foot.
Oh, yeah.
Good. And good. Because I think the man's an absolute arsewipe, personally. Biggest mistake getting him in power.
Well, you know why, didn't you? I mean, I don't like to go in politics too much myself, but I see it like this. Just because obviously Sunak was absolutely useless, that's the only reason why people voted to put him in, kind of thing. But they're making it as if they've done all the work, and we know they haven't done that. But yeah, I think one term and he'll be gone.
I think the people will turn because
Half a term.
people who voted for him are the people that are going to be affected most. They're the ones that are going to pay the price, you know. And at the end of the day, you do, you know, what's the old saying? Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And
Oh,
this
I'm
country
right.
right now is heading to rat shit. And I'm not talking about all that nonsense, but at the end of the day, mate, we're heading for a disaster. You know, these poor people, elderly people, and I'm nearly one of them. So thanks for that, Starmer. You know, I'm only 4 years off it. So where's my
Oh, really?
where's
I
my
thought you were 21.
Hey?
I thought you were 21, Jez.
I wish, man, I wish. You know, 4 years' time, mate, I'm entitled to a heating allowance. So where's it going to go?
Yeah, exactly. Evening, Nick. Sorry I'm late. I was using my fuck rug. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're
Oh
good.
God.
Ace is asking Tony, did you get Anthony's Bristol Rovers jersey for his quiz victory? Yeah, I'm still cutting the holes out in it just to make it really authentic for him because I know he loves Bristol Rovers that much. So yeah, really, you know, really an authentic Bristol Rovers jersey for him.
I'll wipe my ass in it and I'll send it back to your team. How's that?
Vincenzo's asking, where will Arsenal finish this season?
Second or third.
Before I go for the Arsenal guys, I'm going to actually ask the Tottenham man.
Oh.
Where do you think Arsenal will finish this season, Jose?
Top 4 for definite.
That's called sitting on the fence. That's kind of the easy
It's
way.
like you've asked me where they'll finish the top 4. I think, I actually think there's a lot of for me. I at the start of the season, I thought the league would go like that because on the one hand, we're going to turn around and say, I think we all do this. We all turn around and say the Premiership is the hardest league in the in Europe or in the world. The teams that play in the Premiership, you know, it's a bit like international football. You can't go out and muller teams anymore, like 9-0s and stuff like that.
Yeah,
the gap's been closed. So to win a Premiership game is difficult, and it doesn't matter who you're playing against. It's difficult to bag 3 points in the Premiership in a match that you play. And I just feel that I felt at the start of the season that the Premiership was going to go like that. I don't think. I think it's going to be quite tight.
Yes.
From
yeah,
the first from the first 10 teams. All right, there's going to be some that I reckon will be in the top 4, but I reckon that from third, you can probably call it from third through to 10th. You put the names of the teams in a tombola, or put the names of the teams in a washing machine, spin it round, and every time you'll get a different outcome of who you're going to pull out for third, fourth. You know, I think it's going to be tight this year, or tighter for a lot of teams. And as I said, it's really difficult. It's difficult. It doesn't matter who you're playing. It's difficult to keep registering 3 points week in, week out in the Premiership because these teams ain't a bunch of mugs. None of the teams that you play against are mugs.
No, it's all
and at the end of the day, for me, I think Arsenal have in Calafiori. I like Calafiori. I think he's a really good player. It needs to bed in. Obviously, he needs to learn the Arsenal way and how to play and how Arsenal play and all that. But once he's done that, I think Arteta's got decisions to make on does Calafiori come into the starting 11? If he does, where does he play? Does he play left back? Does he play left centre half? Where's he going to play him? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like Calafiori. The only thing I'd say for Arsenal is about not getting the number 9. I thought number 9 was a fundamental for Arsenal this season.
Yeah.
And they didn't go out and get a number 9. But in saying that, Havertz has stepped up, isn't he? Havertz has stepped up last season. And so far this season, Havertz has stepped up again. He's played well the first 3 games. And he's scoring.
The goal he scored yesterday, he took that really well.
Yeah, so Havertz has stepped up. But I still think Arsenal needed a number 9, in my eyes.
Jose's not going to get you 20 goals a season, mate.
Is that Havertz?
Yeah.
But if you're getting goals from everywhere around the pitch as well, though, you scored loads of goals last year, Arsenal. You scored a fair few goals last year, but your players shared the goals, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you on that point. But who's to say that's going to happen again? That's my answer to that.
Yeah, like I said, like I said, I thought Arsenal this summer. I thought from the outside looking in, for me, I think they were screaming for a 9.
Yeah, agree. I totally agree. We should have got.
The thing I'd say with the Kai Havertz thing is that you would need the number 9. You would need a number 9 in the situation that Havertz found himself in one of the breakaways, where maybe just an extra touch to send the ball slightly wider because the goalkeeper's coming out to close the distance to open an angle to shoot past your goalkeeper to make it 2-1 whilst the score is 1-1. So if you have a more clinical number 9 natural finisher bearing down on goal in that situation, Arsenal would walk away with 3 points yesterday because they had 2 big opportunities despite being down to 10 men on the breakaway, where Brighton were trying to hand 3 points back to Arsenal. And I'm thinking, how many games this season will you get where Arsenal get the 3 points and they share a lot of the goals around? But what happens when you get to the games where it's like they didn't win today, they were 1 goal off of winning, and the players that were in front of goal could not hit a barn door? And you go back to then, if we had the number 9, would be a different story. Because as much as Kai Havertz might have a good goal tally, all the other games that he doesn't score in, that he doesn't convert his chance and misses big time, you go, he's a good player when he actually gets the shots on target. Beyond that, and he starts missing. And don't get me wrong, big number 9s.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah.
I mean, Odegaard was poor yesterday. Odegaard was poor yesterday, and he was. Everybody reckons he had a phenomenal season last season. I thought he had a good season. Personally, I thought he was slightly better the season before when he scored the 15 goals. So, but we were playing a different formation then. We were playing the 4-2-3-1. So you had Saka on 15, Odegaard on 15, Martinelli on 15. Jesus was on 12 or 13, and then a certain Smith Rowe was on around about 10 or 12 goals that season. So we had goals all over the place. In all fairness, but I mean, you look at it now. I mean, he plays that 4-3-3. I'm not a fan. I didn't really like 4-3-3. I personally think you've got the depth there, but when it's out wide, you lack the width. And you play along with you've got more depth. I prefer the 4-2-3-1. Personally, I would love to actually see. I don't even know why you don't even play that against Tottenham. In all fairness, that that formation. I mean, I know it chances it, but you could put Jorginho next to Partey, and then obviously, you can have Sterling or let's say Trossard on the left, Saka on the right, Odegaard up behind Kai Havertz. That'd be even better against Tottenham.
I like this one here. I've heard Arsenal sign Neto. I thought we signed Pedro Neto, not a keeper, knockoff keeper.
Yeah.
Big up Geordie as well. Up the Magpies, flying in the sky. Big up to you, mate. Good to see you. I hope you keep them well. It was Juan Ramos, so I never got back the manager regardless of their Ramos. God, bloody hell, I remember that.
Sure.
Never played the Benty way. Never, and his goals dried up overnight. Remember that one? There's another question here. Where is the other one there? And Vincenzo also asking, who's going down this season?
I think it's going to be Ipswich. Sadly, I'm thinking it's going to be Everton, which is going to be I'll be so sad if they do go, but as it stands, they're not looking good, man. They're not looking good. and another for the now. But I think Ipswich possibly, and yeah, Everton.
I had start of the season. I based mine on the teams that had come up and who did bad at the end of last season. And for me, the ones that had the momentum last season in the Championship was Southampton in the last 10, 15 games. They had the momentum. So, and they've done a bit of business. So I had them to survive. But the team that was in free fall last season was Brentford. So I had Ipswich, Leicester, and Brentford to go down. However, that was before the transfer window closed and before a ball had been kicked. Now that the balls have been kicked, I'm thinking to myself, it might not be Brentford. It may well be Everton.
Yeah. I think that as well. Yeah. I think Ipswich should just kind of probably hold their head up, be just above water. I think possibly. But
I think Southampton's probably looking a little bit like it. I mean, get battered by Brentford 3-0 as well. I mean,
yes,
don't show for good reading when you're losing a fairly comfortable scoreline to somebody that's around a similar level of table, or where fans are backing the teams to finish around your position, and they're slightly more established as a Premier League team, and they're beating you comfortably. Yeah, it's going to be a long season for Southampton. Yeah, no, they've signed a couple of good players for the Premier League season. I don't think the team has got quite enough.
Yeah. I personally think it'd be Everton, Southampton. I even put Wolves in that equation as well.
Leicester have got points deductions coming as well, though.
Yeah, because we thought that was coming at the beginning. So because when they came up, we thought we was coming straight off. But as you said, it's coming up.
People are saying, like, what happened to Everton last year? The 2 hits. They reckon that Leicester are expecting to get 2 hits as well this year.
2 hits, bloody hell!
Yeah, the same as what happened to Everton last year.
Wow.
I reckon they're going to get 2 hits.
Why don't they just do it at the start of the season so the teams know where they are?
Because the reason for that is, Jez, because these clubs have all got clever people working for them. And to me, and I'll be very honest, in my assessment, I think the Premiership, the people that are in the Premiership, the investigators and that, I think they're absolutely crap. And the clubs have employed some very, very skilled people, and that's why we saw a lot of horse trading right in front of our eyes between 4 clubs to avoid any penalisation happening to them, because these people have got clever. And Leicester have probably had people working in the background to try and reduce and minimise the impact of whatever may be coming their way. But other people have done this as well. They're not the only team. And with that delays it, doesn't it, Jez? It delays it. If you
but would you rather know?
Yeah, I would. But if you're going to use delaying tactics by bringing all these legal eagles in and all these clever bods that you're going to employ to get you off it, or minimise the risk, then you can't then penalise someone, can you? If someone's on appeal, you can't penalise them.
I hear you. I hear what you're telling me. Personally, if it was Arsenal, I'd rather know and see, right, okay, there you go. We've lost 6 points, or we've lost whatever. Now we know what we've got to do. I wouldn't want to be sitting here as Leicester City, and in January you're suddenly told, right, you've just lost 10 points.
Yeah, he's bang out of order.
Yeah.
He's bang out of order.
Big up the goat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I think this did happen to Forest as well, though. They got deducted at some point, and then a bit later on in the season, they got another lot of points taken off them as well. Because
the people that are going to get penalised very soon, according to industry experts, are Chelsea. Very, very soon, they're going to announce what the punishment is for Chelsea. What charges they've got to face, because of what Bowley found when he went there. He found all the mismanagement that had gone on with the Russians that were there. And they admitted to certain things and said, look, we're going to be clear and honest with you. This is what we found. We found these problems. And they're thinking that will minimise whatever comes their way. But since the investigators have gone in, apparently That was nothing. That was like that amount of problem. They've gone in and they found these amount of problems. And supposedly the word on the street is that Chelsea are going to be hit with many a charge. But again, Chelsea are going to have the best lawyers, the same as what Man City have got. They're going to have the best lawyers as well, aren't they? So
True. True.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Ramsdale going to Southampton was a good bit of business. Did you see how he kind of announced himself when he was signing the paper? Had a dress on and a wig.
Yeah. Hagrid, wasn't he? Hagrid.
Hagrid,
Oh.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, like I say, on the relegation one there, you know, I think Everton would go down. My uncle's an Everton fan, but only because my grandma put him in an Everton bag instead of a Birmingham City bag. They were the same colour, I guess. Lone Star saying, "Oh, relegation, oh, Southampton, Everton, United." Important here.
Wish. You wish. You wish.
Mike saying Southampton look bad, trying to play out from the back. Yep. Southampton signed Anthony's favourite keeper, so they could be okay. Yeah, we didn't kind of accomplish his mission of making Arsenal go down, so he's gone to Southampton and do it there instead.
I think this could be a mistake for Ramsdale. Seriously, I think Southampton will go down, but then if nobody gets him, you know, like another Premier League team, wouldn't that cause havoc on his England career? Because he's England number 2 at the minute. He's not going to be picked for England number 2 if he's going to be playing for Championship football for Southampton when they go down.
Yeah, and he got 34 points in the FL. That's mine.
I remember England being blessed with goalkeepers, and I'm going back to when they had Shilton, Clements, Corrigan, and all these players vying for the number 1 jersey. You look at England's squad now, and you look at Pickford, who's all fingers and thumbs. You look at Ramsdale, who hasn't been playing. And watching Nick Pope today at Newcastle, I thought to myself, wow, whoever plays Newcastle next, put balls into the box and keep taking shots. Because Nick Pope's got many, many mistakes in him. We didn't capitalise today,
no,
but other teams will.
I've always said that about Pope. I mean, he's not a bad shot stopper, and he's not, you know, kick out a ball well. But when it comes to one-on-ones, he's poor. And I was surprised that really they didn't go in for Ramsdale. I thought Newcastle would have gone in for that one wholeheartedly, but you know.
Yeah.
Jez, why would you be sad for Everton? Says Thunder Road. Is there a Scouse bird that you're still fond of there?
Not at all, mate. It's all about history. You know, I've been to that ground many times, and it's the history, man. They've been, you know, it's outside of Arsenal. They're the longest running team in top flight football, and it's just sad to see when something like that goes. That's the only reason. I've got no.
I agree, Jez. I'm the same. But how many times, like even in the old Division 1 before it came to the Premier League, we was always used to having Everton there. I mean, it was a worry of them going down last season. Do you know what I mean? They survived it by the skin of their teeth, but you know, I mean, I think one of the I mean, they never really replaced that Onana that they sold to Aston Villa, did they? I mean, that is a massive chunk out the spine of that team with him going, and they didn't really replace him. So they're very weak in that middle of the park, Everton. And with Braithwaite, their starred centre back, he's injured.
I've probably been to Goodison Park, probably in my life, 25 plus times, you know, and it's a great place to go. It's quite a little stadium. It's a nightmare to walk down the country road to get to the stadium with all what goes on. But, you know, I always loved it. It's always a game you look forward to. So I'll be very sad if they go out of the league.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Budgie's just been attacked by an hornet. Yeah, dog's going nuts looking for it. He squashed the bugger, so at least he's got it at least.
Them Watford fans, I swear.
Yeah. Big up Gatesy. How are you doing, old Rob? The West Ham Massive. If you haven't gone over to Rob's channel, please go over and see him, share a like and subscribe. Great channel it is and great content he does as well. And I've had him on Spotlight. He's a great man. You know, quite interesting content as well. So yeah, please go and see him as well. As Budgie's saying, even at the West Ham, Budgie's saying hello. I reckon the press conference are so freaking cringy, honestly. Even worse than the Aussie Sport journos here. Yeah, there is some plastic ones here, that's for sure. Let's see now. Colin Chill was just saying, Tony, Lobby did say he wants to look at free agents for left back and centre back to cover. My sources close to the club say freeze until September the 18th to submit squad. So hopefully there's some free transfers coming in. Hopefully, fingers crossed. One for you, Jose, from Revy. Thoughts on how Spurs judge a team in games?
So obviously it's quite clear that we've had a big, massive clear out this summer. We've got rid of players that weren't going to be, that they didn't want to be there. There's only one player left in the club now that supposedly is surplus to requirements, and that's Sergio Reguilon. And you've got Saudi closing tomorrow, and then you've got the Turkish league in a couple of weeks' time. He's in his last year, so basically we've got rid of everyone apart from him, and that was a big, massive clear out that we've done this summer. For me, the manager says he wants players that believe in the ideas that he's got and the way that he wants to play. He wants to get the right characters and create a team that way. And like I said earlier, the easiest way for me to answer the question is if I compare the first 3 games this season, even though one was a loss today, and I compare the first 3 games of last season, we are in a better place in the sense of the way that the football that we play and the kind of players that we've brought in. I am happier now than what I was, even in the unbeaten run, because it was an unbeaten run the first 3 last season. I'm happier now where we are now than where we were last season. I think our defence picks itself, and then after that we can have a whole load of permutations in midfield and a whole load of permutations playing up front, providing players are fit. I'm happy where we are at the moment, and I think that if you build a team and you buy players that are all going to gel and that have the right attributes, then back them and hopefully they come good for you. And that's what we're going to wait and see. And that's what I'm hoping will happen with Tottenham.
Richard says, so we have a West Ham here, Arsenal, Man United and Spurs, and not one got a fucking win between us. Thank fuck it's an international break next weekend.
Well said. Well said.
So, Rabbi's asking the questions for Eltel and Jez and Anthony. Thoughts on the North London derby?
God help us. That's it. I'm not confident at all. We know it's a tough day out down the lane. So, with our squad, Rice is out. You know, I'm not looking forward to that game one iota. So it's going to be tough for Arsenal. That's all I'm going to say about it.
It's not just a North London derby. I look forward to every time we play. I support my team, and I look forward to every time we play. It doesn't matter who we're playing against, and I'm hoping to be at the game in 2 weeks' time.
Nice. That should be good.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, we look forward to having you back on, Jose, then when it comes to that day. And
I don't think do you know what I've thought about that? And I don't think I'll be back in time because it's a 2 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday, and the train service down where I am, I've told you before, it's so shocking.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I don't know whether there's going to be any cancellations or, you know, it's hit and miss whether I'll be able to get a train that gets me back at a decent time on a Sunday night. So I don't think I would be back, even though the game would probably be finished by 4 o'clock. I don't think I'll be back home by 8 o'clock, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So for a one-off special and that, the Sunday night takeaway, 11 o'clock at night, Jose's back on just for.
Fucking hell, I'll be a fan.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Nick. I did ask you to be nice to the Spursy man. So okay, Tony, I'll be nicey. Ooh, Spursy daddy, how baby darling, Spursy Wursy. Thank you very much, Nick. Appreciate it. Jose's a very nice man. So yes, you know. Look at me on the pilot now. Top Gooners criticised Trossard, but Odegaard, Gabriel, White, Saliba, and Havertz immune for criticism as their fan favourite. Hope Trossard leaves the disrespect he gets. Interesting. Mm.
Where's
Jamaica?
Arteta the pilot? Can't believe it.
As an outsider, I think Trossard's a good player, and
Mm.
as soon as Arsenal bought him last year, I thought to myself, we made a big boo boo because he was offered to us as well. We made a big boo boo not going for him because I think he's a good player.
I do feel like he is Arsenal's most potent attacker at the club. Most variable ways in which he can cause carnage through an opposition's defence. Can beat a man, great with a shot, great eye for a pass. He's got all potential in his locker. It's just a shame that Arteta doesn't really see that as any reason to play him more.
Mm.
Yeah, true.
I mean, Ravi, this one is interesting. Yeah, question. With the North London derby, does it matter who scores first to determine the winner? I think at this day and age, with both teams, it's very unpredictable. Whereas beforehand, that you could definitely say, you know, if it was Bergkamp, Henry, etc., you know, they're probably going to be getting the goals and winning the game. But, you know, it's the same thing with Spurs, you know, when you had Sheringham and you had Klinsmann. And well, I won't say, what was that worst play you got, Jose, begin with the S? God, Jesus. That striker, what was his name?
Beginning with S.
No, because what was it? That striker you bought, Sondero, whatever his name was.
Soldado.
Soldado, yeah.
Soldado, who was a fantastic and prolific scorer, playing in a front two, and Tottenham decided to buy him and play him in a front one on his own, and he fell off a cliff at Tottenham, didn't he?
Yeah. We you know, in West Ham we call that he was moist. You know, he was moist. That's he was... Oh man. Don't get tangled up in the fuck rug. Fuzz, question: thoughts on the players' attitude in training and games?
Well, if you're a Man United fan and you follow the official club socials, you'll see winning pictures, winning teams in training. There's more. The only winning that this club can seemingly do at the moment is winning on a training pitch. Win at Carrington. Forget win at Old Trafford or win away. Win at Carrington. That's it. It's just the mentality from players some of the times, and the attitude from some of the players today as well. When at half time, the amount of heads dropped, no real urgency or desire to get back in. You know, you can drop 2 goals in 45 minutes. I mean, bloody hell, Liverpool put 6 past us in 45 minutes at Anfield. So just because you're 2 down, I mean, what the hell are you conceding the game for? Like, you're at home at Old Trafford. You're down 2-0. Fuck them right back off to Anfield and put 3 past them, 4 past them, 5 past them second half. Just turn up and actually have some bit of urgency and pride for your shirt, rather than sit there sulking. Oh, it's not fair. It's hard. This going on. It's not my fault. Because there's one thing you can note with some of these players: they don't like to take accountability. They really, really don't. They're all mercenaries. As soon as anything goes wrong, must be the manager, must be him, must be Tom sat in row F, seat 36. Must be his fault.
Yeah,
that's true.
that's true.
Big up to Dermot from Top Oxford FC Till I Die, THFC. Hey guys, please like and subscribe. And yeah, go see Dermot channel. Great guy. He's talks on sense with his co-host Philip. So yeah, make sure you go over there. Paddy's saying, Dermot said it on there. Yes, we lost today. That hurts. We'll get it right. We have to back Ange in the tough times, and if we took our chances, we'd be sitting with 9 points. But look at it. It is what it is. We could be Man United. Yes, I think we.
Could be Everton. Be even
Could be
worse.
Prefer Trossard to Martinelli. He's so direct. He didn't play well against Brighton, though. But then again, he doesn't often get service. Your thoughts on that, folks? Why? For me, I'll answer that pure and simple. It comes down to Arteta. I'll leave it to the Arsenal boys to answer that one.
Yeah, it's very true, man. Very true. It always goes out to the right to Saka. Been saying it all last season, and I'll say it again. Martinelli, when he's playing, or Trossard, when he used to have Tierney on that left flank, he used to overlap those players, right? And they'd get into the centre of the box, score goals.
Facts.
It's easy, really.
Mm.
Anyway, boys, on that note, I've got to bounce. Joe, thanks as always, brother.
Thanks, Jez. And you'd like to, as always, shake yourself out and what you've got coming up, please, before you disappear.
Yeah, Arsenal history and more. Tomorrow night, I'll be on with Lee and Kenny and on the weekly podcast. And then tomorrow night, I'm probably going to do another show, which I haven't thought about, but I will do something. I don't know. But there we go. And then Wednesday night, of course, is the weekly show with Kenny Kane at 6 o'clock, the football chat show. And on that, I've got Aaron coming on, who's just setting up his channel currently. And yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Jose, great to be on with you. First time. Cheers, bro. And Fuzzy, mate, I know you're depressed, but hey, it will get better, bro. And Anthony, always love to you, man. And thanks for having me on, as always, and I'll catch you all later. Take care.
Thanks, Jez. Take care.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
I don't know. A good one here from Ravi for you, Fuzz. Who's the young lad that came on for Casemiro? Looks like he will get cooked every time he plays.
That's Toby Collier. He's an academy player. This is his first competitive appearance for the club, I think.
No, that was Hoyland. His hair is grey.
Unless Hoyland suddenly come back, I mean, well, this desperate of a guy that is, yeah, probably. Would run onto the pitch with a leg brace if he had to. Something else I could also say about Trossard, where whoever was that made the comment about him playing bad against Brighton. I wouldn't necessarily blame him so much if he starts performing lesser and lesser and lesser with the times he does play, because it's got to be frustrating. It's like there's only so much that you can do in your position where you get such limited opportunities, or you play well enough to justify you starting your next game, end up on the bench, and then expect to come off the bench and then just like, oh, well, I'll give it my all, prove it, then the next game, yeah, just on the bench again. Like, I don't necessarily think with Trossard's selection or how his selections have worked out, it's like with Manchester City and Phil Foden, you could talk about in terms of how they've handled his starts. With Phil Foden, it's all explained to them. Like, in this game, you're more suitable against this opponent. In this game, he's more suitable. So, and the quality of players are just, top end. With Trossard, he's quite well rounded to suit against any opponent. So for me, I don't necessarily think that he's being handled in the same way that a Phil Foden would be handled by Pep at Man City. I just think that Arteta just doesn't really rate him to have impact on the pitch the same way that he believes a Martinelli would, because I think he trusts Martinelli more than he does a Trossard. And if Trossard starts dropping performances and, just starts dropping some levels, I think he's going to look at, he's probably just going to be sat there like, well, I mean, what do you want me to do? I could put in a 10 out of 10 performance and I'm just going to be benched next week. I want to start. I want to be playing. I want to be better than, I'm trying, and I feel like I am better than the other players that start in my position. But you put in a 10 out of 10 performance, but you're just benched the next week. And that's got to be ridiculously frustrating as a player like Trossard, that you move heaven and hell for Arsenal. And by the way, came on against Aston Villa where there wasn't really a breakthrough, came on against Aston Villa away from home and, found that broke the deadlock. So even then, when he was frustrated, the guy can still make the difference for Arsenal. Martinelli's not performing.
No.
Sterling's coming in, and you're expecting him to be a performer. I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. I mean, what do you do when you're Trossard? What do you do?
I suppose the only thing he can do at this stage is just kind of hang it out, and if he doesn't see anything, maybe ask in the January window to move out or go on loan or something, just to keep himself competitive. But at the moment, I think he's just going to see it in the long haul kind of thing. Robbie's asking me, will we see West Ham win another trophy anytime soon? Possibly, maybe this season with this squad, we've got a chance if he can get it to gel and click together. We've got the opportunity to have some real flair in the attack with the likes of Bowen Kudos. Paqueta, he plays decent enough because he wasn't exactly great yesterday. And obviously with Bowen, Fulkrug, and who knows if we are going to get some other signings over the line before this, what you were saying, September the 18th, or Colin, then there's a possibility, we may get something. But I think with where they've backed Lopetegui, for me, I just see it as a case of the intention is Europe and possibly a cup. We'll see on that. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Paddy's saying, I think Trossard, he's so direct that he suits a more counter-attacking side, not a side that plays tick-attacker football. That's why he's a great impact player coming on when the players are tired. Yeah, totally agree on that. And Dermot said in here, to be honest, we all have had a tough weekend. All our teams have dropped points, but it's a long season. To the Man United, it will get better. It hurts to lose to Liverpool, but you will get there. There you go. It's nice reassuring words there. Yeah. Mama Flossie said, my team won, so I'm happy.
Yeah, cheers.
Doesn't mean that he's worse than anyone else in the Arsenal side. No, of course not, Paddy. I mean, it's just a fact of Arteta's got his favourites, and they will always start, unfortunately. Yeah, David say we'll take Trossard.
I'll take him at Man United in a
Absolutely.
heartbeat.
Yeah. Dermot's asking question to LTL. Where will Spurs be at the end of the season? Does he agree with me? It's time to back Ange.
So, for Dermot, the answer that I've given everybody that's asked me is Tottenham will be in the Premiership by the end of the season. We won't get relegated. We'll definitely be in the Premiership. And as for backing Ange, I back him 100 million%. I'm with Ange all the way. I don't believe any of this jargonistic crap that's coming out. And I went to the game last Saturday, Dermot, and I said it on the channel here earlier that when I was asked the question. I spoke to fans at the stadium last week, and what people do on YouTube and what people spout about on Shitter is not shared by the fans that go to the games. The fans that go to the games are behind Ange Postecoglou, so there's no divisive. There's no divisiveness. There's no people at the stadium that are like, oh, Ange is this. Ange hasn't got a clue. He doesn't change this. He doesn't do that and the other. You're not getting that at the stadium. You just get that on social media. So for me, but I back Ange 100 million%. And if I end up going to the North London Derby, which I've been told I've got a ticket for, I will sing the heart out again, and I will be behind Ange again in the team.
Nice. Let's go back to the old keeper situation. We was talking about. Paddy's asked, do you guys think Shilton was a bit error prone though? For me, Seaman and Big Nev Southall were the kings in England.
I think the king of England and goalkeepers has to be Gordon Banks, don't it?
Yeah.
Got to be Gordon Banks. He's a World Cup winner, so he's got to be the king of the keepers, surely.
Yeah. Yeah, we know that there was all good keeper. I mean, Big Nev, bloody hell, But there
was loads of good keepers though, Tony, back in the day.
Yeah,
you had Phil Parkes for a while.
Phil Parkes, yeah,
Big Phil.
You
got you had Peter the Cat Bonetti at Chelsea. There were some really good keepers, but the keepers, and the keepers back in the day couldn't play in the Premiership now. Because Now you have to be the goalkeepers, and this is Pep again. The goalkeepers have to be good with their feet, have to be able to play as a sweeper keeper and stuff like that. Back in the day, all these great goalkeepers that we used to have back in the day, they would come out and they would smash the centre forward. They'd punch him in the mouth and knock their teeth out and all that.
Yeah.
But you can't do that nowadays. So the goalkeepers, although they were great goalkeepers in their own rights back then, and they did it all without gloves as well, by the way.
Yeah. I remember watching the old great.
And they did it with the balls that on the mudlark of pitches that we used to play, because we didn't
Yeah.
play on carpets. And every time it rained or it was wet, that ball became heavier and heavier and heavier. And these keepers played without gloves. So, but they couldn't play nowadays. These goalkeepers could not play in the Premiership nowadays because
Nah.
football's moved on. It's become robotic. Your goalkeeper has to be able to play with his feet. Forget about if your goalkeeper's any good coming out the crosses. Forget if your goalkeeper's any good at defending his box and that. It's, can he kick a ball? Can he play as a sweeper? That's what people look for nowadays. So yeah, that's where I am with it.
No, good. I'm just going to say goodbye to Budgie because he says he's going to hit the sec peeps. I'm bloody knackered, but I'm listening. Night all. Mama Flossie, thanks for all your efforts and the support you show to everyone. Absolutely. And night panel, great show. Budgie, thanks again for that. And
Thank you, Reggie.
sleep well, mate. And Nick, no, I haven't missed it. I'm coming back to them. I'm just trying to catch up with all the questions that have been asked beforehand. And so I've seen that one between West Ham and the Spurs one. I've seen that. Seaman was prone to the odd lazy lob. Yeah, he was on that one. Remember that one. Night Budgie. And I come back to the question on that there. They're all just saying goodbye. Yeah, Pat Jennings. Yeah, that's a good shout as well, Dermot. King of the lot.
Shovel hands, Pat Jennings. He had the biggest hands for a goalkeeper. He had shovels, didn't he?
He did. What's it? You know what, Jose? Like watching a lot of old games back, though, I swear though their long balls were decent. Yeah, they had a bit more purpose back in the day, didn't they? That's for sure. Cheer up, all. We're all right, Lodestone. We're fine. I'm off too, says King Mikel. Tomorrow will be like Christmas Day. Can't wait. Yes, young Terence will be on the spotlight tomorrow, so there's going to be a few questions thrown at him, like I said to you. Yes, indeed. Just going to go back to this. What's it there? Question to Fuzz from Richard. Do you think Rashford is finished at United? And also, he has already said that, Richard. Yep.
1,000,000%.
Done and dusted. Where's that one from Nick? Where did I put it now? Is this one where he's going to get the old rivalry going here, Jose? Question for Tony. Are West Ham bigger than Spurs? And question for Jose. Are Spurs bigger than West Ham?
Right, let me find the referee shirt.
How many does your stadium hold?
At the moment, 62,000, where it could be increased to 66,000.
Okay, so we're about 63 at the moment. So we're slightly bigger, I would say. Does that answer the question then?
We was going to be 66, but I think there was some something to do with the council, so it kind of reduced down slightly. But yeah, so not bad at all in that. And last couple of questions I'm going to put in there. I mean, Nick asked the question for Arsenal fans: if you were an injury-prone player, would you A, rather help get through Arsenal and their physio department, or B, a Jack Wilshere, Andy Carroll, and Kieran Dyer ran department? Well, I think Anthony's got to have a number 2 by the sounds of it. But looking at that, their medical department is absolutely shocking. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's terrible. Our medical. He's right, Tom. I just quickly grab something to eat. What's that one? Department or B?
A, I'd rather get help from Arsenal and their physio department, or B, a Jack Wilshere, Andy Carroll, and Kieran Dyer ran department.
Oh, I'll go for option B.
Question for early doors: which players do you hope will see more game time? I want Somerville to have more game time, that's for sure.
The Somerville start though for you, Tony, over Bowen and Kudos, because they're your wide players, aren't they?
They are, but I think the problem with this, Kudos, I think, is not being utilised in the best way.
Or do you prefer him as a 10?
Yeah. You know, I think looking at yesterday's game, Paqueta did okay in spells, but there's a lot of ones. I mean, like a lot of people were saying Paqueta was at fault for the first goal where he lost it. There's a second one where he kind of should have cleared it and didn't get to it. So he's not looking great, and he is getting a bit of stick at the moment from the fans. His performance has not exactly been great. So if you look at it now, we've got Soler over the line, and possibly touted as being, his replacement, depending on the charges, what's going to happen. So, but they're the kind of players you want to see given a chance. But yeah, I think let's Somerville play out where the strength is. He's a left-sided player. Let's put him out there, and let's use Kudos. I mean, he can play in the middle. You can play out in the middle. So, yeah, let's utilise it to our strengths because, like I said earlier, we've got more attacking options now than we did last year. So why not utilise that? But like I said, hopefully Lopetegui will start sorting this all out. Ravi's always asking if Fuzz, do you see players wanting to leave United?
No. For the players on big wages, definitely not.
It's just
seriously, you wouldn't want to leave a club where you're sat comfy. You've got a manager that for some reason picks you week in, week out, despite putting in stinker after stinker after stinker. And yeah, there's several years left on your contract. Some of these players are getting towards the tail end of the contract. So it's not like them throwing in the towel at this stage of their career is going to affect the outcome of their career because they've all done, all of their best work is behind them. So why would you, at this stage of your career, want to be like, oh, well, since I'm not performing adequately here, or the team's not performing well, I want to challenge my ambitions at my age and try and move to this club. I'll take pay cuts, XYZ, I'll do all of this. Modern footballers could give less of a fuck about, ambition to win trophies when you're on 300,000+ a week. They don't care. They honestly do not care. Once it becomes money, once it's money driven, that's it. Career over. You don't switch ambition back on. You just don't. It's over. Forget about it. Unless they become a free agent and no club signs them. No club signs them. So in that case, you as a player will have to speak to your agents and say, well, what do we do? Because I want to get paid XYZ amount, but no club wants me. So I'm not earning anymore. And no sponsorship deal is going to be sticking with an agency or a player's agency if the player's not performing. They're just not wearing a club crested jersey. They just won't. So with Man United's players, they'll milk the cow until the pool's dried up.
It's funny because I'm just looking at the other one here, which is Paddy's. But I just wonder, will Mikel's career progress when he leaves Arsenal, or will he be found out? I reckon a lot of managers would achieve with financial backing. Interesting one, your thoughts? Well,
if he leaves Arsenal.
If he leaves, because when you look at that,
he's keep him there forever and ever and ever.
He's the untouchable at the moment, isn't he? And he's back to the hilt on this one.
Yeah.
And as Anthony said, 850 million he's spent so far, and he's still being backed. But would he get another club? No. Would he progress at another club?
Well, apparently, he's just signed a new contract, and so saying there's a 3-year extension to his contract, and he's roughly on the same wages as Pep. Work that one out. Seriously, work that one out.
Lifetime contract. The lifetime contract. It's in effect. More contracts at Arsenal than trophies won. Has Mikel Arteta.
That's mad. Good evening, Exponential Anchor. Just saw the stream and popped in. Good to see you, mate. Tony, do you think Souček being dropped yesterday was a one-off or the way going forward? It's an awkward one, isn't it? Because when you look at Souček, sometimes he actually, he kind of tends to get the winner near the end, doesn't he? And I think that's I think the way going forward is possibly with the new players coming in. But at the same point, I think if he's going to come on as an impact like he did yesterday, I think he was brought on for that purpose to try and get Sank out of the game. And we was very close to doing that. So that's, I think he is possibly, as I said before, the shows when I've done it with Anthony and Fuzzy, I think he's given the old guard the opportunity to see what they can do. Antonio's still getting a bye at the moment, but yeah, we may see a lot of changes going here. So I think possibly we might be seeing Souček playing less and less games. I mean, obviously, we can see Kufal came on eventually, but played, I think, more on the left because Wan-Bissaka and that, I think he cemented that space. But then saying that, he did put Wan-Bissaka more in attack in the second half, so it's quite interesting. West Ham bigger than Spurs, or Spurs bigger than West Ham? I met you halfway and say Leyton Orient. Superb. Dropping a steamer. That's Anthony going to the toilet. West Ham and Spurs combined 11. Ooh, yes, I think we've done that once before. Actually, can Tony and Jose do a Spurs and West Ham combined 11? Oh, mate.
Take all night. Don't worry about it. Not tonight.
Yeah. We'll do that for another time, ASG, but we'll make a note of that one, that's for sure. It's a great shout, though. Bowen up top, Kudos right, Somerville left, packing a 10 is the way. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, totally agree on that. Oh, yes, indeed, Low. So, yeah, Paqueta asleep at the wheel. Yeah. Mama Flossie, thanks for hanging around and doing what you've been doing tonight. It's been superb. Thank you very much for putting all the adverts up for the channels. Going to say good night. Great stream, guys.
Yes,
thanks
Mama
so much.
Flossie.
No, thanks as well. Thanks for your input as always. Thanks for the chat as well. So we're coming near to the end. We'll start wrapping up shortly. Actually, early doors, I forgot to ask how we actually play against you guys. The game wasn't televised. I think if you look at it, Paddy, I think it's just a case of we took advantage of your misfortune. I mean, obviously they give Gay the armband as it was his 100th game, and probably another way of tempting him to stay in the before the transfer window shut. But yeah, you was okay in spells, but West Ham, were just a bit more clinical. Took advantage of you guys, and 2-0 was the result. There you go. So LTL Cockerell's his channel. So if you haven't had a chance to, please go over and have a look.
You're telling me something I don't know how the website.
Yeah, haven't you seen it? Have you seen it? It's quite amazing. The merch is selling there.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh man! And there's Fuzzy's channel as well, Hot Fuzz 44OG. Make sure you go and smash a like and share and subscribe as well.
Yeah, big ups to people that have subscribed as well.
Good night, Flossie. Rest well. And yeah, I'm going to come to Nick's one because he actually there's one he did put up there. Where have I put it now? I've looked at with fans of Spurs, Arsenal, West Ham, and Man United all in the stream. Here's a challenge for you. You must each send your top 3 players to the other clubs. 1 player per club. Who's going where? Yeah, Nick, that one is going to be an all-nighter as well. I think we'll leave that for another time. But please make sure you put it in the next time. We'll try and answer that as best as possible if we can.
We'll send each of my top 3 players. Yeah. We already know that it's Rashford, Casemiro, and Harry Maguire. We'll send those 3.
I was going to say, maybe put it on a postcard and pop it in the post. We'll answer it afterwards. One of those.
No, you'll just ignore it. I'll send an army of messenger pigeons. If you don't answer it, don't pick up the mail. I'll get them to shit all over your house.
I can't have bird strikes at the airport, Fuzz. Yeah, I can't have bird strikes at the airport. That's as simple as that.
I'll get it. Just stop all protesters. Then.
Yeah,
I've got it quite. I'd send Reggie on to Man United because he's been there before. So they need a left back. So send Reggie on there. I'd send Ben Davis to Arsenal.
Fuck that.
Because they haven't got any Welsh internationals in their team.
Not anymore, yeah.
Yeah. So you need a Welsh international because you ain't got one in your team.
Play Aaron Ramsey.
And for you guys at West Ham, you keep saying you need someone out on the left or whatever. I'd send you Timo Werner.
God, Jesus Christ.
No, when you're saying the best 3 players to fit systems, yeah, it's one for another day. I mean, I'm just jesting. So
Tony Clifton, good to see you as well, mate. CFX dude, book us a cheap holiday, mate. I don't even get discount myself, and I work at the airport, and I don't get a discount. But yeah, Jet2 do a good deal, £60 deposit per person. Do some good holidays as well. Arteta new deal, rewarding absolutely sod all. Says everything wrong internally at the at Arsenal. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Nick saying Chelsea were scared that Jackson was going into his final 7 years of his contract, so he signed an extension till 2033.
Oh my god.
Oh, that just sums up that one, doesn't it? It's just good, mate. You know that, as always, Jose. Didn't like the Alvarez potato salad sub. And we gave up a goal a few minutes. Yeah, Lawrence, I mean, there's some weird some weird choices yesterday, I must admit. To be fair, in our lifetimes, are Spurs bigger than West Ham? How many titles have you seen Spurs win, Jose? How many titles early doors have you seen West Ham win? I suppose in my lifetime, it's been two and a bit. That's about it.
There's one behind you saying.
what league titles?
No.
But yeah, titles.
Titles? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm
Yeah.
thinking the cups, aren't I? Cups.
Yeah, I've never seen any titles in my lifetime,
Yeah.
but
No.
I've seen loads of cups. Not recently, but when I was young, I saw loads of cups.
Was it Ramos or something like that? That manager Tottenham had, where you won the Carabao Cup back in 2000.
1998.
Oh, 1998. Yeah, that's sorry. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
1998. Yeah.
One day won it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve loves a kebab. Sorry after you guys. Steve definitely loves a kebab. Anyway, I'm craving for a kebab. Great show, Nightle. Steve, thanks again. Brilliant. Thanks for being with
Make
us,
sure
mate.
it's not a Harry Donner kebab.
Yeah, don't want one of those, mate. That's for sure. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Ours is a class, mate. Ant and Fuzz ain't too bad either.
Cheers, Lawrence.
Jose's good.
Cheers, Lawrence.
Which saying that BBC CFAX page used a long time ago. It's longer than Tottenham last one. Is it longer than the Tottenham last won a trophy?
No, we've won a trophy since CFAX has been disbanded.
That's the way I put it.
We've probably won 2 trophies because CFAX went prior to 1998, so we've probably won 2 trophies.
Yes, true. Look at that one. Paqueta to Spurs, and I hope he gets banned, Tony.
I saw that one earlier.
Big up, Dal.
Evening all. Evening, Steve. And also evening to Russ Morgan. Hope you both well, the pair of you. It's good to see you. Nick, I'm not even joking about Jackson. He's actually signed an extension at the 2033. He's still having 7 years. Just bloody hell, man. 9-year contract.
Stockpiling. They
What
know the
the
transfer
hell?
ban's coming.
Big up Dow, as always. Do you guys know anything about this Norbert Neto?
All I know is that he's not a Pedro Neto.
No.
Russ is saying the Spurs won the Audi Cup and they don't stop going on about it.
We've done the treble. We've won the Audi Cup. We've won the Ford Cup. And we've won the Volkswagen Cup or something like that. So we've done the treble, haven't we?
What was that Tiger one? Was it the Tiger Cup? Wasn't it?
Oh, no, but you're talking about a different set of trebles when you're talking about the Tiger Cup. We've probably won the Tiger Cup, the Heineken Cup, and the Kronenberg Cup.
We've won the prestigious Riviera del Sol Cup, I think, or something, Costa del Sol.
That sounds like another beer as well, so that'll have to go in with the Tiger.
They'll go the mix as well.
Yeah.
Ravi's saying, Fuzz, do you feel that teams like Ipswich and Forest will come to OT and have the time of their life like Patrick Swayze?
Absolutely. Unless Ruud's in charge, then it might be a much more difficult game for them.
Oh, nice, Lawrence. Thanks for the comment. Sometimes with the time difference and work, I miss some shows. You guys are class, knowledgeable, and entertaining. No, that's what we're trying to aim to be. It's a chilled out show, basically. We try and keep it chilled.
Thank you,
And
Lauren.
everyone enjoy themselves, basically. Steve D saying the sad reality is it seems a lot of people out there are oddly pleased we lost today so they can celebrate being right. And number 9 today, we cruised that today, never mind dumb individual errors. So that's a good shout. And they're saying also hello to yourself.
Yeah, hi Steve. He's got a lovely dog in the picture.
Yeah, I just see it, yeah.
Lovely.
Rottweiler. Is that? Looks like a Rottweiler.
Mm. Norbert Netto sounds like a fucking ice cream.
Norberto Cornetto. Maybe.
I was just thinking of the Eddie Murphy film. Was it Norbert? That was Norbert.
Oh, Norbert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of catch up on there. Did Ramsdale make big howlers yesterday? That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Didn't see the highlights. He did he?
Well, going to Southampton. That was a howler for him, wasn't it?
Oh, let me just catch it because 1 minute is nothing, and then all of a sudden you get half a ton of questions, things coming in the chat.
They wait for you to say that you're going to start winding down the show, then everybody joins and starts.
Exactly.
spamming the chat.
Yeah, exactly. I've just seen Palace win 1 league title. Just saying. Good luck to
No,
you, Paddy.
that's League One title, Paddy.
It might have been. It might
Not
have been.
one
It might have been the old Division 3. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Could have been
true.
the old Division 3 or even the old Division 4. Because back in the day, it depends how old you are, mate. But back in the day, in the 70s, Crystal Palace were a 4th Division team, weren't they? At the beginning of the 70s.
I
Yeah.
believe they were, yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know if they actually won. Did they win Championship when they were getting promoted to Prem? I think it was around 2013, about that sort of time, I think.
Well, I think they're playoffs, weren't they? Were they playoffs?
I mean, you've had a few good players. When they got that one, I think, was it Palace when Cancelo kicked the fan? That was against Crystal Palace, wasn't it?
Mm.
I think you think of it, they had Nigel Martin in goal, and that season they went down. Tottenham signed their striker, Chris Armstrong.
Mm.
You were a bad player for him, Chris Armstrong.
No. Not to mention the Volkswagen and Skoda Cups. Nobody puts Ten Hag in the corner. Oh, damn.
Oh,
Steve, they just built Scotland. Yes, we need slanky, fit Shees. We've had no luck with injury, but one man down and another man's chance. Absolutely. That's a good comment, Dave. Aaron Ravi, Sunday night takeaway. Defo gives me that 90s feel. Such a great show. Thanks, Ravi. If you see this message, you fancy Daniel Levy? Sorry, Jose, I know you're reading. Nah. I've lowered my expectations to the double now, Steve's saying as
So
well.
it's gone from the quad to the double now. Well
Double
done,
there,
Steve.
yeah.
Quad to the double.
Lawrence is saying,
Toxic.
Tony, how much did it cost you for Jose to be on the show? I heard it was 2 spuds with cheese, beans, and sour cream.
That's our Lawrence for you, isn't it?
Yeah. And a packet of crisps, Lawrence. Don't forget that part as well. That all made a difference. LTL, how many points do you see Spurs get in the away games?
Fuck, I don't even know how many you got last year. Okay, so how many teams you got to play? You got to play 19 teams. So that's 57 points. Right, I'm going to go for 35. I'll say 35 points out of 57.
Interesting. I just like this. What David's put here. When I see Levy, I see Mini-Me from Austin Powers. Brilliant. Nick saying West Ham are going to win the Prem before Spurs. Mark my words. Ooh, fighting talk. I think the last time Spurs won a proper cup was 91. I grew my first pubic hair a very long time ago. That now gave me felt like you were so disappointed in me. That's funny. Yeah, he said he love Jose.
I thought he
Paddy
was a
saying
fucking weak developer, Rich.
was he?
Yeah, I thought he was. No, you weren't. Fucking hell, Rich. Bloody hell.
Paddy saying we finished third, 91. You won't believe what our owner said to you, explain their dip in form as the season progressed. That'd be interesting to hear. That Tony gave me felt like he was so disappointing. Nah, not at all, Nick. I love your comments. Always have done since we started doing that. Why isn't McAllister starting for Man United a good player? I'm sure he's a Liverpool player.
Who's McAllister?
He's a Liverpool player, isn't
Alexis
Liverpool player.
McAllister.
he? He's Liverpool,
Yeah.
David. He's a Liverpool player. Unless you say,
Does he,
Liverpool.
does he mean McTominay? But McTominay's gone. He's gone to Napoli.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
He's
Lawrence,
a good
bless
player,
you.
Fuzz. Not so many, see?
There you go. Super sticker for you, Jose.
Yeah, and it's a big someone shouting out epic fail. Thanks, Lawrence.
Oh, fucking hell. I thought that was on your channel then, Tim. I thought, fuck me.
It's a hippo.
Oh,
It's a
That
hippo
could be on his
crying.
channel soon.
It's a
That could
hippo
be on his
crying.
channel soon.
It'd be on Fuzz's channel. I thought Fuzzy got 1K, but Tim's got to fucking 1.5K.
No,
I'm now 39 away from the 500. So
You've gained 5 or 6 on today's show.
yeah, I have, mate. Yeah, I
Good.
have.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's good. Oh, bloody hell, yeah.
Monetization right around the
Ron
corner.
Nodes. Look at that. Ron Nodes, yeah, stated, black players don't try hard enough in the winter. What a wanker. Cool. Ron Nodes, Jim in for him.
Wow.
Fucking hell. Oh, Nick, bless you. You love my comments. Oh, David Moyes is the nicest, bestest manager in the whole universe. He's such a genius tactician and should manage Madrid one day. He's such a good manager. Yeah, because we want to see him do like he did at Seville. He's really good then as well. Brilliant, mate. Or he could be on about McClare starting for Man United. Could
You
be.
talk about Paddy McNair or something.
Yeah.
Brian
Bloody
McClare. Bloody hell.
I'm ready to give money to training. Oh, bless you, Lawrence. Thank you very much. Appreciate hearing that kind of comment. Thank you, mate.
This question has already come, Russ. Russ is the very next one. But we said it earlier, didn't we?
Yeah. We're saying it's going to be out of probably Daichi and Ten Hag, Russ. I mean, let me hear your thoughts on what you think as well. Yeah, what you think about that. Nick's laughing at us. Sorry, Arsenal. That's fine. Evening, Colin Blackshaw. How we doing, mate? Evening, Jose and the panel. Good evening, Colin. Hope you're well.
Yeah, Colin.
It's kind of
Good question here for you, Anthony, from Ravi. He's asking, how many goals do you see Sterling getting?
Bloody hell. That's a good question.
69.
I don't know. I can most probably count them on one hand, to be honest with you. I'll say 5.
5, bloody hell. Russ saying, man, I've spent too much money to let Ten Hag go just yet. That's my opinion. That's a fair enough shout, mate. That's a good shout.
No.
No.
I don't think it really matters how much money gets spent on a manager, because otherwise you spend as much money as you have on Mikel Arteta. Don't let him go. He's only in phase 5 of about a 5 million phase project. Got to see it through to the very end.
Let's do a swap.
Yeah, you can have a trophy winner.
We're swap managers. Or set up for Ten.
Yeah, let's have a light bulb merchant come up to Old Trafford, eh?
Yeah, but the thing is, with that leaky roof though, Fuzzy, and he'll get electrocuted, so there's no chance of doing that. That hair will go up like that. He'll stick up old Arteta's leg over it.
Don't worry about it. The roof will fix itself through the power of positivity.
Oh yeah, the positivity guys. That's right.
Yeah.
You three on the screen, and I've just realised you three. Your games coming up, your next 2 games, are both away, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're the only ones that have got 2 home games. So
Yeah.
our next 2 are home games. You 3 are all away games.
Our
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
home game is against you.
That
And
must be in
Scotland.
3. That must be in 3 games time then.
Yeah, because we play 3 away games in the next 4.
Lone Star's asking the question: how many will City put past United? Oof.
As many as Haaland can be bothered to score. You'll probably get bored at about half time and just like, this is more boring than my FIFA career modes, and I'll win every game about 10,000-0. I come off at half time and go off to Nando's and enjoy a half time supper. Casemiro probably gets subbed off at half time as well. Come join him. Another disaster class.
Oh yeah, Nick saying, I think one of the teams fighting against relegation is they're going to make a mistake and sack their manager and then get worse afterwards and go down. Yeah, making that kind of disastrous choice of doing it, you know. Good, thanks, over you. Paddy saying, is it me or does David Moyes have eyes like, what's his name? The Steve fella from An Idiot Abroad. You know, he worked with Ricky Gervais. That's old.
Well, that ain't Cole Pilkington.
No, Stephen Merchant, isn't it? That's it, Paddy. Yes, he's
Oh,
yeah,
Stephen
Merchant. Yeah,
Merchant.
Merchant. Yeah. I'm awake, Colin. That's a start. Well done, David. And yeah, we're basically quite up kind of figuring that. So, as we're kind of now 3 hours and 10 minutes into the show, Jose, if you'd like to shout out your channel, please, sir, and thanks for being on as always.
No, thank you for inviting me last week. I've watched. I've said hello in the chat and stuff like that, but it's nice to be on with other like-minded individuals. It's good to see that you can have an adult conversation and you can have a bit of a laugh, which is really good. And the chat has been popping.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic. The chat's been. So
Definitely.
thank you to everybody in the chat. Carry on supporting Tony. We need to get Tony to his 500 mark as
Thank you,
soon
mate.
as. And we could start tonight to get another 5 or 6 on tonight's show. It's really good.
Yeah.
Support Fuzzy as well. And Anthony
Definitely
decides
follow.
that he wants to start a channel, support him as well, and support Jez. Support everyone. All content creators work hard
Yeah.
at what they do. You know, at the end of the day, we do it because we love football. We love our teams, obviously, but we love football as well. You know, and we do. We believe it or not, we've got real lives as well. You know, that we have to fit this in with real lives. So.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we give up our time, but then we give up the time, and it's because you join us in the chat. If you hadn't joined us in the chat, then we wouldn't give up our time. So yeah, please support all content creators. If anyone likes what I've got to say or whatever, I'm on LTEL Cockerel, and I have fans from. It's Tottenham. Obviously, I was a Tottenham supporter, but I have fans from all support groups that come in. And yeah, it's a chilled community.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate. Nick's just saying here that in the Premier, next 5 games are Fulham away, Chelsea at home, Brentford away, Ipswich at home, Spurs away. Spurs and Ipswich, the hardest games, he's saying. Thank you, mate. And Richard saying, if you see a picture in the mid-'80s when David Moyes played for Bristol City, he looked like Gizmo out of the Gremlins. Brilliant. I watched the highlights. Colin Cobb, I missed a match yet. Lawrence saying exactly, Jose. Tony has worked hard getting more followers coming your irons. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. David shares Jose and Honey. Love the channels. Have a huge respect for you both. Thanks very much, David. Appreciate it as well. Cheers, lads. New sub. Thanks for us. Appreciate it as well. Richard Herbert, great show, lads. Win, draw, or lose. Always good entertainment, band. Absolutely. That's what it's all about, you know.
It's all about Rick.
And as David's saying, I'm saying that. Come on, you fucking Spurs. Fuzzy, you'd like to share your channel as well, please?
Yeah, final Poppers 44 OG. Still have to do the actual match reaction for this absolute Slaughterfest funeral today. And the worst part of it is that I'll probably be doing it tomorrow night on Anfield Uncle Rod's with 3 Liverpool fans. So that's going to be a big bully fest. I'm going to have to be like bloody Eddie Hall against those 2 trash talkers in that cage fight where he absolutely slapped the bloody taste out of their mouths. It was incredible.
Thanks, Aaron.
But yeah, get that match reaction done out the way. See what else there is to talk about the club. Probably address a few things with reality bites in the managerial situation. So I'm sure I'll do a show about that. Talk about the managerial scenarios and in which way things can go. And of course, then after that, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I think I'll probably need to invent a new term to go after ugly, just to fit me in there. Like the same way UEFA need to make a new competition just so West Ham can get a sympathy win to win a trophy, because they couldn't do it in Europa League. Got to find a new category to fit me into.
I'm sure I'll speak to Anthony. We'll come up with something for you, mate. We'll come up with something just before that part there.
It's changed his name. You seen it?
Yeah.
You seen his name? ETHN.
Yeah. Nick's asking Jose, did you have a fuck rug?
No, I haven't.
Only West Ham's got the fuck rug, so yeah.
No, I haven't.
Big up Michael, Chelsea FC. Big up Tony in the panel. I'll watch your stream, mate. I can see Fuzzy's huge disappointment there. Yeah, it's plain and clear in sight. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're keeping well. That's it, right, Jose. It doesn't matter what team you support. It's yourselves that make it entertaining. Thank you very much. But and you as well in the chat.
Yeah,
your
it's
comments.
a chat. It's a chat.
Your
You lot keep it popping. We could run out of topics to talk about if it weren't for you in the chat. You guys keep turning up. You guys put your comments in there, and we answer your comments because you're asking the questions.
Thanks, Aaron, for doing that as well. Appreciate that. Big up for Fuzzy's channel
Aaron.
as well. Collins, I remember David Moyes playing with Neil Orr, who we signed. We're playing. Oh, bloody hell, man. That's going back, man. Where's the last bit there? Nick saying it, laughing. Everyone who's top of the fantasy team, fantasy league.
I don't know. I'll reveal all tomorrow, and tomorrow's show he's asking me, I think.
Yeah, I think it's you. That's for you, actually. Yeah. But couldn't agree more. 10 arguing.
You see my name and subheading.
Kip Rose, Nick's taking a shot at you. Yeah, always. Night fellas. Fuzzy, you'll be crying yourself to sleep, I suppose. Good, can't stand you. It's all love and war. And Nick's adding in, I came late more than one day. Oh dear. But glad I managed to make it a day. First time seeing Jose, and you've been awesome. He has indeed. Fuzz, Anthony, and Tony, you're always amazing as usual. And Nick, as always, great comments. We love that as always. And Anthony, where are we going to find you, mate? I'm moving up in our league. Yeah, go. Lawrence
You
is
can
getting
find me
there.
on here, Early Doors on Early Doors Football TV, where we do the show on Wednesday nights at 8:30. The good, the bad, the ugly. Also on Sundays on this show as well, the Sunday Night Takeaway. And also on Tuesday, you can find me, Tony, and Lee at Football Dad's Army. He's trying to get up to 800 subs, so click and subscribe to his channel. And yeah, we just chat about all Arsenal. There is a section for Tony in there. It comes under Hammer Time, so I'm looking forward to that and see what he's got to say there. And just basically like and subscribe to everyone's channel here, also in the comments as well. And people, thanks for tuning in.
Arteta in for life.
Yeah, that's it. Does Anthony drive a combine harvester? And you look different with no cap or a beard. Don't look like Zach Dingle now driving his tractor. No, that's Dave. That's Dave, unfortunately.
No, it's not me. That's Dave.
Anthony, you're a Ray Parler, double ganger cobber. Thanks, Colin. Appreciate that. Colin, always a great show, boys. Thank you very much. And that 10 arc forever, Aaron, saying there. And last but not least, Arsenal X-Rated. I hope we see you on the show again, mate. Yeah, Jose, hopefully we'll get him back on again. And we'll definitely look forward to it. And yeah, that's basically it. So just going to go over a new outro, and we are done for the night. Thanks very much. It's 3 hours and 18. Enjoy your weekend. You should be fine on it. This one's a bit more kind of mellow.
Oh, is it? What the fucking hell is this?